I don't want to set the world on fire. Oh my God. So in this live stream, hey, zoom in on me. Focus, 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 man. Focus, focus up. In this live stream, we're going to talk about social media. Why won't it stay in focus? I'm going to get so mad. I'm so mad. We're going to talk about social media. And we're going to talk about, you know, the challenges of being an artist on social media. And what else? We'll talk about, yeah. And hopefully we'll get some people in here sort of soon enough. And we'll talk to people, maybe on Discord. It's going to be a group therapy session. Like it's the social media side of things is difficult. It's very rewarding, very invigorating, but also very difficult. And it's very exposing, I guess, you know, to post stuff online and to be vulnerable and share yourself and your work and all of that. And it's scary. And yeah, I saw an artist on Facebook who was posting their artwork in some group that I'm a part of, and one person left this kind of nasty comment. No, it wasn't even a nasty comment. They just said like, "Oh, where's the rest of it?" or something. So it wasn't. It was kind of mean. It was an unnecessary comment. It wasn't valuable at all. But the person just totally overreacted and was like, they made a new post, and they're like, I can't be involved in a community like this that tear each other down, and I'm just not able for that right now, and I'm quitting this group. And all the comments on that post were like, there was just one, you know, why are you overreacting? You're overreacting. So I don't know why I'm saying that. This thing keeps coming in and out of focus. Like me, I'm in and out of focus. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for my sense of identity. It's like it's blurry and then it's in focus, and then it's blurry and then it's in focus. So yeah, we got absolutely nobody in the chat right now. Nobody. I'm going to post on Discord and see if anyone's going. I don't want to set the world on fire. What a song. Oh, baby, baby. I just posted to Discord. So hopefully Hopefully we'll get somebody in here who can talk to me about the problems that they're facing. And we can all grow together. We can all grow together as one being, one consciousness, one amalgamation from different parts of the universe. Amen. You know, can we get some likes in the chat, please? Can we get some, can we get some... Can we get some hallelujahs in the chat, please? Oh, hello, BF. Welcome. I saw you commented on my reel, and I want to say thank you for that comment. And how are you today? We're going to be talking about social media. We're going to be talking about being an artist. We're going to talk about what it means to post on social media. And hopefully we'll get some interactions from people. And maybe, you know, we'll have some fun. What's your experience? Yeah, I just came to look at your channel. I really appreciate seeing some real non-AI art in this day and age. Yeah, well, that's another whole topic as well. The whole AI thing. I'm not even worried about AI. I'll tell you that right now, man. I'm not worried about AI. Stay in focus, you goddamn camera. But I'm not worried about AI at all. I don't think we need to be. Like, obviously, it's, you know, it is crazy and it's stealing and it's, you know, but it's, I don't, for me personally, I don't think it can touch real art. I don't think it can even touch it, you know. Amazing. I can only stay for 10, 15 minutes. I'm in Australia and it's getting a tad late. Oh, okay. No problemo. You stay as long as you need to. There's no problem. But Australia, that's not good accent. That was terrible. I'm from Australia. Okay, just forget that. Cut that out. Edit that out. Australia. Put a shrimp on the barbie, mate. That's it. Australia. Australia. Fucking hell. Didgeridoo. We're upside down, man. You're upside down. I think like everything, it requires so much nuance, but generally I'm against AI, especially how big corporations are using it. Yeah, but that's true. That's true. Definitely requires nuance. I think it does require nuance. I think like, you know, I use like text-based AI a little bit for helping me write posts sometimes. It just makes life a little bit easier. But I'm not afraid of AI. I don't think we need to be afraid of it. I don't think it's like, yeah, big corporations maybe are a bit more scary in the way they have no soul. But like, if we have a soul, we're going to be okay. Just focus on your own soul and you'll be fine. You know, like it's never, AI can never stop you from being an artist, no matter what it does. You know, that's how I feel about it anyway. I feel like I don't care about AI at all. Soul is key, and AI probably doesn't have a soul, I don't think. And if it does, great. If it somehow develops a soul, then welcome aboard, man. If AI had a soul, I would happily, you know, if it started to develop consciousness, like, great, like, cool, welcome aboard, like, let's be friends. But from my experience, it does not have anything like that at all. It's just, you know, it's just a computer. I don't know what it is. I'm not an expert on that at all. But I do know that, like, The Real Sunny, hey, The Real Sunny, welcome to the live stream, welcome. We're talking about AI at the moment and how it's going to destroy our whole lives. Thank you, The Real Sunny. I'm heavily anti-slop, which is the opposite of soul in my opinion. Yeah, slop, I don't really know what the word means, but I kind of know, I've heard it obviously, like, slop is like, it's raw, there's no soul. Again, it's the idea that there's no kind of consciousness in it, there's no intelligence, it's just rubbish, it's just some 5-year-old kid just typed in, make me a pretty picture of a woman that I like. And then it just makes this slop. There was no thought into it. There was no consciousness. There was no intention, you know. I think that's what AI slop means. But, you know, That's fine. Because no, I don't care about that. You know, make as much slop as you want. I don't care. There's always been slop in the world, you know? Who cares? I'm doing my own thing. And we should just focus on our own self and just making ourselves as good as we can, you know? Sometimes people think my digital art is AI, but I mostly do traditional. Yeah, I do feel a little bit more. I feel like the digital artists are a little bit more under threat, a little bit. But then again, like, you know, you can prove that you're legit. Like, you can do time lapses, you can do process paintings. Like, nobody can take away your skill. If you actually know what you're doing and you're developing your skills, you will always be able to prove yourself because you have the actual skill. Like, there's, um, con artists will always get exposed at the end of the day. Like, there's plenty of YouTube. I've seen a few artists online who were using AI and pretending they weren't, and they were getting away with it for a while. But eventually, they get caught. You know, they're gonna get caught eventually. You know, and like, there's always been con artists in the world. It's not a new phenomenon. Yeah, I do time lapses, exactly. And time lapses are great also because, like, they're just a great way to show your process, and they're a lot of fun anyway. Like, so, hi vibes, welcome to the chat vibes. I think it's highly veiled imitation of soul and consciousness, and it has none. It's a thinly veiled imitation. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I think that's exactly what AI is. It's like a imitation, because it's basically, yeah, as we all know, it's stealing other art from other people. So it's imitating it. Like, so it's, yeah, whatever. All right, Sonny. Thank you so much, Australia. Give Australia my regards. If you see another Australian today, say the Irish artist said hello. So that, even if you see yourself in the mirror, just say the Irish artist said hello. Oh, wait, the real Sonny's not the Australian. Wait a minute. Oh, damn it. Wait, why is everyone going to bed? It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sweating right now. It's so hot over here in Ireland. Sorry, BF. You're the Australian. How could I ever forget? Yeah, honestly, that's why I looked at your channel, because I loved your art and wanted to make sure it wasn't AI, and no slop channels are doing live streams or using camera techniques. Yeah. See, that's the other thing about live streams as well. Like, they're fun because, like, they're just, here I am. This is me. I don't know what I'm going to say next. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to try our best. Do you think people can truly change? Whoa, that's a good question. Whoa, that's a good question. Whoa. Oh, shit. Whoa, dude. What's the question? It's 10:51 p.m. for LEB. See, I don't know how to pronounce your username. Do I say BF? Do I say LEB? Do I say LEB? I have to go. I'm so sorry. Love chatting. Good luck with your channel. I have subbed. All right, BF LEB. See you next time, and have a good sleep. Sweet dreams. I'm avoiding the question that Vibe asked because it's too deep. How can I answer that question? Do people change? Can people change? What do we think, guys? Vibes, what do you think? First of all, let's start with your opinion. The camera will not stay focused. It just doesn't trust me at all. The camera doesn't trust me, and it doesn't respect me. Do you think people change? I need someone in the chat to answer that, because that's too important of a question. I think they can. I think people can change. But it is unusual, it's uncommon, it's not easy, it's difficult. And it also depends on, like, what type of change you're expecting. Like, if you want somebody to maybe, like, eat a little bit healthier, that's surely doable. But if you want people to, like, change their whole life, I don't know, it depends. This cameraman is driving me insane. What's going on with it? Let's look at their settings right here. Okay, we need to focus. Autofocus. Whoa, 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 whoa. Autofocus. 1 point. Expand. I don't know. I don't know what any of these mean. Let's try that one. That's actually better. Dude, I am actually legit sweating right now. No, I don't think people can truly change. I believe people can change their habits or behavior, but their core personality and instincts usually stay the same. Someone may act differently because of age, fear, pressure, or circumstances, but when they're under stress or no one's watching, they often return to their natural way of thinking and acting. Yeah, that's true. You know, they also say as well that you cannot and should never expect somebody to change. You know, they say that in romantic relationships as well, particularly like, because I don't know about you, but I'm sure a lot of us have been in relationships where you love the person, but they have some behavior or something that is just not okay. Not, it's not even, it could be like very destructive behavior, or it could just be something that you're not compatible with, something that just you can't kind of build a relationship on. That it's like too different or something, whatever it is, but it's something about them that is like not working with your energy. But like a lot of the time, because we are attracted to them and we want to be with them, we often just tell ourselves like, oh, like they'll change. Like, I know they'll come around eventually. They'll see what I'm saying, or they'll understand or something. And they say in psychology that you should never do that because, well, first for two reasons. One is, like Vibe said, people don't really change fundamentally. Like, it's like you can't change how you look, not really. You can sort of make superficial changes on the surface, but you can't change fundamentally your genetics. So like that, there is a degree of like only being able to change certain things. So there is that like, to expect somebody to change when they literally can't, it's not possible. That's a mistake. But also, even if it was something that they are capable of changing, you expecting that of them and needing that of them will only, kind of restrict them, because they'll feel it has to happen from their own volition. They have to change themselves, and that comes through inner work and, kind of inner grit. There's a process involved in that deeper change. So you should never expect anybody else to change, and you should only focus on yourself and changing yourself, becoming the person that you want to be, the person that you need to be. And because that's enough food to keep you going for a lifetime. There's no end to that journey where I got cheated twice by the same person. I don't really think people can truly change. Yeah. Twice, twice is too much, definitely. Same person, that's too much, way too much. Yeah. Most people would say once is too much. I think it was okay to give him a second chance, or her or him or they, to give them a second chance. But yeah, now it's, wow, that's twice too many. What can you do? That's tough. That's really tough. I've never been cheated on like that. I've had my heart broken many times, but cheated is, that's tough. Sorry to hear that. That's a tough one. But you're going to learn from this, and that's important, and that's invaluable. Like, the lesson that you will learn from this experience, from this discomfort and this heartbreak, like you said, maybe even learning that people don't change. That's a valuable lesson. That's going to make you wiser. It's going to make you more intelligent. It's going to make you more cautious going forward. It's going to make you more mature. It's going to make you more of a full, human being who can read the room better, who can see the red flags quicker, and have more inner, confidence. So, and like, this person is obviously in a chaotic place. Like, I'm not saying what they did is right, but it's like they're obviously like in hell, you know, even though maybe they don't admit to it or they don't even realize it maybe, but like they, you know, you can't do things like that. You will never, and a healthy, happy person won't, you know, cheat, obviously. So they're in a sort of hell of their own. And that's not your business. There's nothing you can do about that. They have to suffer that until they wake up out of it, or they might never wake up out of it, you know. But you'll be long gone. Like that's over for you. You know. But yeah, it's tough. It's really, really tough. Really tough. But also like, don't look at it like, oh, I wish it never happened. It's not fair. Like, it's great that it happened because it's going to make you so much better as a human being. You know, all these pains, if you're able for it, and you are able for it because you're here and you're strong and you're learning, like you will look back at that time, at that pain, and you'll go, wow, I learned so much. You know, it made me a better person. I mean, can you imagine like if you hadn't learned this lesson now, and then say 10 years from now, you're in a relationship, you're married with somebody and you think everything's fine, and then boom, you find out that they cheated on you, and you have kids and you have, I mean, whoa, your life it would be like a train wreck. It would just be unbelievable damage. But now, because you've learned the lesson now earlier, hopefully, you know, maybe you weren't married, I hope not. If you were, then fuck. But like, you know, the greater the pain, the greater the lesson at the same time. You know, we're here, we're queer, and we're not afraid of change, okay? We're not afraid. We're not afraid of being confronted by our devils and demons. We're not afraid of the devil. I'll tell you that right now. I invite the devil onto this chat right now. I want him to come onto this live stream, and we're going to talk to him and find out why he's harassing everyone. You know, I just broke up with her about an hour ago. I was crying, regretting, but the good thing is I learned. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. It's a lot. I understand. It's tough. It really is. It really is. But you're going to be okay. You are okay. You're going to learn from this. You're going to keep learning. You're going to deepen and mature, and it's great and it's good. And you know, it sounds like you still have a certain amount of respect and love for this person. No problem at all. No problem at all. Happy to listen. I'm happy to listen. I'm just pacing around the room right now, trying to figure this shit out, man. Trying to figure this life out. It's so hot right now. I'm sweating. Oh, I never finished my tea. Gotta drink my tea. I'm the devil and I'm afraid of you. Yes, guys, we did it. We won. The devil finally admitted it. Sean, I want you to come on stream. I want you to come on stream on Discord. We need to talk. We're going to talk. We don't want to set the world on fire. You need to get on live stream, bro. I want to hear what you have to say. And turn on your webcam as well. This is it, man. This is your chance to be the man that you want to be. Okay, can do. All right, how do we do it? I'll maybe we'll call you. Or will we do it in a group chat? No, I think it'd be better to do a call. Sean Gillespie. I don't want to set the world on fire. We have some configuration to do here now. We got some configuration to do. Failed to start camera. What the fuck? 1 sec, configuration. Yeah, no problem, man. Take your time. I'm trying to figure this out as well. I think I gotta come out of streaming mode as well. What? Oh, right. Keep going. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm ready when you are, Sean, I think. I'll wait for your call. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Sean. Hello.
What's the story?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And I
What's going
wonder, it's good, all good. I'm just wondering how is it working on the live stream then as well?
Let me check.
Oh yeah, your voice is definitely coming up on the live stream. I can see. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's all good. Check it as well though, just to double check. And then
Hello, checking my voice.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, it's coming through
Yeah.
live.
Okay. And what about webcam? Do you have a webcam?
No,
Okay.
I'm not wearing clothes.
You're not wearing clothes.
No, it's too hot for that shit here. Fucking boiling. Man.
Oh yeah. What
Haven't worn
temperature is
clothes in about 4 or 5 weeks.
it? What temperature is it? Just do your head and shoulders. I'll take off my t-shirt as well because like it's also very hot here.
All right, maybe for a second and then I'll turn
Do
it
it.
off again.
No, don't turn it off. My camera's not working though. Nice, stay, perfect, yeah. No, don't turn it off.
No, that's all
Why?
you're getting.
Why?
That's all you're getting.
Why?
Because it's a fucking mess.
It's not a mess. It looked perfect. It was
Sorry.
perfect.
No, especially if you're putting it on fucking stream.
Why? Okay, fine.
No
Well, next time,
chance.
we're doing it next time, definitely.
Yeah, I'll put on a t-shirt for the next one.
Like, I want to take off my t-shirt, but I'm embarrassed as well. But if you're also shirtless, it makes me feel not embarrassed anymore.
Right, let's see if I can angle it up so it's
Yeah.
not too sexy for everyone.
See, I have to figure out where to put my mic now if I take off my t-shirt. I can just hold it.
Nah, man, it's a fucking mess.
There you go.
I look
you.
like I got a head made of light. As well.
That's perfect. Perfect.
The
perfect,
window right
perfect.
behind me.
That's perfect. It's very blurry. You can't even see you.
And Roots in the background as well.
What's in the background?
Roots in the background as well.
Oh, yeah?
It's just her head poking out.
Oh, you turned it off again?
Yeah, no, not a fucking chance.
Oh,
A different time maybe, but
okay.
she's not very happy.
Okay. Yeah, so
You can go shirtless as well, though. Be my guest. I'm
no,
happy
because
to
then
see.
I have nowhere to stick
Everyone
it.
else would
I've
too.
nowhere to. Like the t-shirt's perfect.
know-
It holds the microphone right there.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say about the gym. Like, I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, right? But I'm not progressing. Now I am kind of in a calorie deficit, so I'm wondering if that's the reason. But it's so annoying.
Could be. Are you losing weight?
I am losing a little bit of weight. Yeah, I've lost about a kg, maybe
Yeah.
over a couple, 2-3 weeks.
1 kg.
Yeah, a couple of weeks though.
That could just be fluctuation, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's not really a
yeah.
lot.
Well, maybe two. Yeah, it's not much. It's not much. Yeah. So I don't
And you're
even
not
know if that. Yeah,
strength or with building muscle.
like reps and weights not improving, the same.
Yeah, it's strange that you're not losing weight or building muscle.
Yeah,
Are you trying your hardest when you push it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's often a problem, especially if you're not experienced, that you're just not like fucking
Definitely, man. I've been at it.
hoisting and heaving, you
I'm
know.
definitely pushing it because I know. It could be protein as well. I don't know if I'm
Maybe
getting enough protein. but-
protein.
Yeah, it's really annoying. And it's been like
Are
that for a
you
few
counting
weeks.
your protein?
Not really, no. I get about probably 70 grams of protein, maybe 80. Like,
Seems a bit low, but it shouldn't be too low. 70. I'd aim for maybe 100.
yeah.
It's hard to get that in though. Depends on your sources as
It
well.
is hard,
Well,
like-
it's not too hard.
Well, if
Not
you're
too-
eating
it's
lots of
not-
protein powder, it's okay, but like, I don't know about that.
Well, on my calculations, I always just protein in my experience.
You what?
Depends what you're willing to
Cut off
eat as
there.
well, and sources of your. You hear me now?
Yeah.
In my experience,
No, it's gone again. What's
Oh,
that
really?
about? Yeah, it cuts out. I can hear you again, though. Don't know what's causing that.
hello.
Yeah, I think it's fine now.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
saying, in my experience, it tends to be cheaper to buy meat than to buy protein powder.
Yeah,
Especially if you
yeah,
can eat
meat.
like minced beef and stuff like that.
yeah.
Pretty easy to get down. I'm not sure about this, but like lentils. Lentils is a really good. I really like
Mm.
lentils because there's a lot of protein, and they're tasty, easy to make, easy to clean up.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure about the absorbance of like plant-based protein. I'm sure it's fine. Like for that last 30 grams or whatever, I'm sure it's probably good.
yeah.
That could be something to consider. You could swap out if you're eating rice or pasta or whatever, you could swap in lentils. They take longer to cook, but they're pretty easy to cook. You can cook them in big batches and they're healthier and that as well. Like they're full of nutrients. So
Nice. Okay.
could be an idea.
Yeah.
What was I going to say before? Yeah, it's strange that you're not making progress. What's your rep range? Are you going for high reps?
Kind of around 10 to 12, 13 and higher. Don't really go too low.
Could be good to mix it up
Yeah. Yeah.
just to test it out. Go try and, because it could be like you could do like a 2 rep something or a 3 rep, and then you might like
Yeah, that might be
uh,
something. I've never actually experimented with that ever. Doing really heavy one. That could be interesting.
Were you making progress at first and then plateaued, or you
like
just
a
never made
little? See, like
progress?
because I've been kind of on and off for like I don't know, probably a couple of years to be honest, on and off. Where sometimes I'll be at it for 6 months and then I'll totally stop, and then so like a couple of years I've been on and off. And I think there was a period of time when I was like, but I never really progressed that much. But there was a time when I was progressing a little bit, but then I plateaued for a good while, and then I stopped going, and then I went back, and then like the first maybe 2 weeks there was some improvement, but then it just plateaued again. It's really weird. It's so annoying. But that's definitely something I'm going to try is the lower. I've never done lower reps, so that might be helpful.
Could be good.
But I
It
feel
could
like I look
be-
better,
wonder...
and I don't know why. But it could just be the bit of weight that I lost as well, though.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, a kilo to me. I mean, I fluctuate a kilo. I tend to fluctuate a kilo. Maybe you're actually You're actually tracking your weight, but I find I fluctuate by a kilo just within one day, just by water. So I
Yeah.
kind of.
No,
When
it's
that
definitely
little,
it's
hard to know,
consistent.
you know
It's
what I mean?
consistent. It's like overall, I've
Okay.
definitely. I think I've lost 2
Right.
actually. Around.
All right. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long has the plateau been?
Oh, sure. Like that's the thing. You could say that it's been ages because this current plateau is like basically 4 weeks. But technically, like if you go back when I was doing it that other time, like probably a year ago, it was the same. It was like plateaued for like 5 or 6, and then I just stopped because it's hard to like.
Yeah, if you've stopped and come back, it's hard to know if it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
I feel
So
like I
you
need to
kinda
just
have to
stay
take it
with
on
it.
the current
I
one.
need to just stay with it for like 6 months and then
Well,
see like what's
the
going
other
on.
thing is, yeah, I mean, whether you're making progress or not, it might.
You have to what?
Because you're not if you might if you're whether you're making progress or not, you need to stay with it
Yeah,
because it's just for your health and that. So
exactly. And it feels
if I
good.
if
I
I hit a
always feel good
plateau,
afterwards. Yeah,
exactly, yeah,
yeah.
it's good for you. Exactly.
It's yeah, and it's
If I hit
probably
a
a good
plateau, I
lesson
don't
anyway
think,
that
oh, I'm just
you're
gonna.
not doing it for just for the most, for the visuals. Like you're also, I'm trying to do it for the right reasons as well.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be healthy into old age and stay mobile and all
Yeah,
that. So that's
like
the
it's
main
so funny.
reason
I
I do it.
sometimes don't
So
even think about that at all. I'm like, I'm going to die tomorrow, anyways. It doesn't matter. But that makes no sense because like,
no, a lot of people like around here in Spain, the country's full of old people, and you see them when they're walking canes, and you think they're not going to last much longer, and it's because they don't take care of their bodies.
yeah.
A lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it is.
Just want to say hi, Trophy. Hi, Trophy. Great to have you here on the live
New
stream.
trophy.
Hope all as well. So what else?
What is there any? Is it obviously you're exercising your different muscle groups? Is there
Yeah.
they're all plateauing at the same time?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's an interesting point as well. They're all
What
pretty much.
lifts are you doing? Is it the main bench press, squat,
Yeah.
deadlift?
Bench press, shoulder press, biceps, heavy topic. I guess no, it's just weight. We're just talking about weights, Trophy. Bench press, shoulder press, biceps, triceps. Oh, pull-ups. I'm getting a lot more into pull-ups. There's like a pull-up assist machine as well that I use because like I can do a few pull-ups, but I can do more with the assistant and get a better kind of impact out of it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
The pull-ups have kind of.
Are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you doing full range of motion?
Yeah, I try to for most of them. Yeah.
It might be good to lower the range of motion, just kind of ham it, just
Okay. Okay.
overthinking form or getting too much into a stretch position can,
Yeah.
I don't know, I find it hard to progress when I'm really stretching it out. So
Okay.
it could be good to mix up the
Interesting.
range of motion as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, a little bit of dogma from some places online about, all ROM all the time, but I think it's good to just fucking ham it sometimes as well and just
Yeah.
push yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just think, I'm moving this weight regardless,
Yeah.
You're in the stretch positions also usually tends to be the weakest position. So if you're only bringing that up, then you might not be bringing up the rest of the range.
Right.
So there's different opinions on it, but I think if there's different opinions, then just mix it up. You don't
Yeah.
need to choose a camp,
Yeah.
If nobody knows, then it's probably not that big of a deal. And I don't know much. Maybe like it could be there's things around like timing, if you're eating right before gym and stuff like that. I'm not really sure about that sort of thing. But the general consensus tends to be around 2 hours before, but then you get into like micromanaging and stressing out about details, which is probably not worth it.
Yeah.
Time of day makes a difference as well. I don't know. I'm stronger in the evenings, so.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Could be worth. But some people might be different, so it's hard to know.
Yeah.
Are you doing cardio?
No, I don't do cardio. I just don't. Yeah, fuck. It's too hot as well. I'm already sweating when I do the weights. Never mind the cardio.
It can be good. Some people say cardio, like it kills your gains, but then also if you're in better condition, you recover faster and you can put more effort into your lifts. So it's hard to know. I mean, it's obviously important for your health, so it's worth considering.
I'm thinking of doing.
But I struggle to get into it as well.
Yeah.
Biking might be.
Yeah, handy one.
I've been jogging recently since I can't lift weights.
Nice. Oh, we got Lux, Shears, Sat. I don't even know what that name is, but hey, buddy.
Lokesh, maybe.
Lokesh. That's what we call
Hello,
it.
Lokesh.
Lokesh. We're talking about weights at the moment, but we should probably talk about art. But I brought it up because I'm kind of was. Oh, it is Lokesh. Nice. How'd you know that, Sean? I was looking at that like, what the fuck? Lockshire.
Just guessing.
Man. Yeah. So what are we talking about?
I don't know. You had something? Did you have something in mind? We're coming on.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I don't have anything in mind. I'm trying to just destroy my brain so that I don't have any thoughts. Oh, is it Sean on the other side? I was wondering. Yes, it's Sean Trophy. This is Sean. He was going to appear on webcam, but he can't anymore.
I did briefly appear
He did yes, he did briefly
and
appear.
very quickly turned it off.
And his
again.
head was made of light, a bright white light, and it
Yeah, I
was
shouldn't have revealed that secret that my head is made of light.
Yeah.
Now you have to believe everything I say.
It was blinding, and like we had to shut it off. It was too powerful. Couldn't handle it. So Luxmeyer wants to talk about AI.
Luxmeyer, fuck's sake, not even trying. Absolute contempt for your audience.
Loki the god. We already talked about AI Loki. Actually, if you go back, IA. Yeah. So my bad. We'll revisit.
On
No, it's
today's
fine.
stream, you talked about AI.
Yeah, I did
or in a
briefly
previous
earlier on.
video.
Like there was a bunch of people in the chat at
Oh.
the start of the stream that have never been on the stream, like new people, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then they were asking about AI and talking about it, and we talked about it a little bit then. But yeah, AI. How's the weather? The weather's roasting hot everywhere in the world, I think, but definitely here in Ireland it's hot, and in Spain where Sean is, it's hot. It's just hot, man. It's gonna be a real hot summer. It is a real hot summer. It's too hot, man. Where are you from, Lakshmar? India. Oh my god, what temperature is it over there? Mumbai. Oh my god. I bet you that's hot. Sean, I can't hear you anymore. You're over there. Mumbai. Temperature 27 degrees. That's not too bad. That's the same as here, I think, or a little bit hotter. Right now it's monsoon. Oh, monsoon. Whoa, man. You get more rain than Ireland. Because it's monsoon. Ah. That's crazy, man. Monsoon. What's that like? Oh, there's gonna be thunder on Monday, man. You better watch out. You're gonna have thunder tomorrow. Trophy's back. Welcome back, Trophy. Welcome back. Thunder. Thunder. My mic's a little bit loud, sorry. Or else up to 38 degrees. Oh my god, that's too hot. Monsoon is the rainy season. Yes. Indeed it is. So yeah, we're just talking about art, and we're talking about social media, and we're talking about like what are we talking about? We're talking words, language, communication.
Video not on.
There you are, Sean. Where were you?
Sorry, my power cut out, and then I wasn't sure if you were going to hear me. I didn't want to interrupt the stream with hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Yes, you're there. You are there. So Sean, what will we talk about? You introduce the topic and we'll talk.
I don't have any topics. I was listening to you talking earlier about whether or not people can change.
Oh yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think?
Um, I mean, I feel like the question kind of is a bit simple,
Yeah.
like the overly simplified, because obviously, but maybe not in other ways. So I think it depends on how you define it or what exactly you're talking about. Like core personality maybe changes over time. I think hormones and age have a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, things like I have a theory maybe that things it tends to be change, but not necessarily remove of certain aspects, but only addition of aspects. So that if you do change, it's like one, like let's say you're made of like 100 things, 100 aspects, and when you change, you maybe gain one new aspect, but that can be it's on top of the stack. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's either it doesn't really replace anything that it's in contradiction with. Does that make sense?
It doesn't replace anything that it's in contradiction with. So,
So you can add things on top, but there's still all that main stuff underneath. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the more it kind of has less of an influence.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's true. So you can learn a new thing, or you can experience a new thing, and you change over time, but you're still maybe the core of you. I don't know if that ever can go away,
Yeah.
and if it does, it's like it tends to be, as I said, maybe a hormonal thing or something like that that changes over time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's like you can talk about change in terms of changing your actions. Like I do different actions today than I did 5 years ago, but that's because I live in a different place and have different responsibilities, like that. So
Yeah.
it's like a very loose question. I think it's very hard to define.
Yeah.
Because as you said, you gave a good example. You can change what you eat. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Can you change what you want to eat?
Oh yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Can you feel the love tonight? Tell me your biggest fear. Great question. Great question. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Sean, you go. Biggest fear. Sean is he's in the third dimension right now. So he's going to come back with some very powerful insights from the fourth dimension. In the meantime, I'll try and answer your question. My biggest fear. Um, I mean, like, I think it's pretty obvious. Like, it's stupid, but like, well, it's not stupid, but like, it seems obvious. But like, I mean, how could there be anything other than this? Like, it's the fear of death, right? Huh? How? Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything else really to fear. Loneliness. Yeah, loneliness is definitely very potent as well. Yeah, loneliness. Yeah. What about you, Lockshire? What is your biggest fear in Mumbai? That isn't that scary. It's pretty scary. It's inevitable. Yeah, but even so, it's so scary because it's totally unknown. I mean, loneliness is also very painful and very scary, but at least we know what that is, you know? We know loneliness. We've all felt it. And like death is like, who knows? We have no idea. Losing, mine is to losing the loved ones, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one too. That is a big one. Yeah. Debt is yeah, it's again debt, but then happening to somebody else. Yeah, it's a. I feel like low key debt is the escape of the miserable life we all live. Well, you don't know. We don't know. We don't know if it's like that. We assume. We assume. We like it's an assumption to say that debt is is an escape. You know, you don't know. Like it might not be an escape. It might be something else. You don't know. I don't know how people can be so sure that debt is the end of everything. You know, it could very well be the beginning of something totally different, something way worse, potentially. I mean, if we can come here in this life out of nowhere, why couldn't we go to another life? I don't necessarily believe that, but I don't not believe it. The idea that you just go to sleep forever, yeah, it would be great, sure, but like, is that guaranteed? When you die, your consciousness dies, but your consciousness, where did your consciousness come from in the first place? So, like, you were born and you were either born with consciousness or you developed consciousness, whatever. But you came with consciousness, basically. You came with it. Whether it grew or whether it came, you came with consciousness. So, what's to say that you couldn't come with you couldn't come again with consciousness? I mean, if it comes once, why wouldn't it come again? Even if you develop it, like, you know, why wouldn't you develop it again? And there's a lot of like, oh, we totally can. But then death is not an escape. That could be a doorway into a much worse situation. You open a door expecting a room that has nothing in it, but it's something else. Yeah, but what if it was worse? What if your next life was worse? Because it could be, you know. Imagine being born like into like, you know, a kind of a I don't know. It could be better too. Yeah, it could be better. Maybe. I guess it could be, yeah. Um it's kind of weird because it's like we're not sure. Yeah, we're not sure. That's true. We don't know. That's for sure. We just simply don't know. Sean, I see you're putting on the mute and then unmuting yourself, and I don't know what's going on. It's all assumptions, sadly. Well, I wouldn't say it's sad, you know, because it's like that's the beauty of it is that we don't know. Like it's a that's kind of I think that's pretty cool that we don't know what that is. I think for me, like not knowing what happens when I die is kind of exhilarating and also scary as well. Um, it's not, you know, it could be sad as well, but I don't think it's sad because like something's gonna happen, even if nothing happened. Yeah, if nothing happened, I think that's what would be sad. I think it would be sad, and I don't know why it's sad, but people are tend to be scared of the unknown. Yeah, naturally. I mean, if I told you someone is going to come to your house tomorrow and they're going to enter your house and they're going to talk with you, but you don't know who it is and you don't know what they're going to say, you'd naturally be scared, right? You'd be like, what the hell? And then if I said, you know, like this person might be nice and give you something great, they might be really beautiful, but also they might destroy you and they might try to destroy your life. But I'm not going to tell you who it is and when they're coming. Like that would be scary. You'd be like, whoa, you'd have to be like kind of prepared. Okay, okay. You know, I'm ready. Whatever this person is going to be, I'm ready. If they try to kill me, I'm prepared. If they are here to give me some great reward, okay, fine, I'm ready. I think like what's the difference between like the other fear that we all have, and I know this really strong. I don't know. I really feel hopeless. About what do you feel hopeless of this life? Wow. Yeah, I know. It, it's a powerful. That's you know. It's yeah, hopeless. What does it mean to be hopeless? I don't want to vent. Let's jump to another topic. I don't think we're venting. I think it's all relatable. I think it's relatable. I think hopelessness is relatable. Don't think there's not many people that don't know about hopelessness. I've certainly known hopelessness in my life. I've experienced it. And I think everybody has experienced it to different degrees, of course. But I mean, essentially, like it is a thought. It's a kind of a thought. It's a kind of a feeling. It's a kind of like a pain. It's like pain. It's like this feeling of, and then there's this kind of like noise in your head, and there's this kind of pain and sadness and sorrow, and you just feel like it just feels like heavy energy, you know, feels like you're being weighed down. It's too heavy. You have no strength, you know. That's what hopelessness can sometimes feel like, depending on the person and depending on things, but somehow hard to breathe sometimes, even, you know, just draining, yeah, draining, just like your energy is being pulled out, and you're fighting to keep your energy, you're fighting to not, you know, it's like another entity inside of your head almost, you know, like a kind of like an illness that we have when we're in that state, an illness that we are fighting against. We're trying to fight, and it's draining. And there's nothing to fight. That's the worst part. There's nothing wrong. There's just nothing wrong. It's just yourself. You know, they call it echo chamber, but I don't mean in terms of like social media echo chamber. I mean, your mind is an echo chamber. Your mind is an echo chamber. If you think a thought in your mind, it reverberates. And if you think lots of thoughts in your mind, they all start reverberating. And it creates these echoes. And soon it starts to sound like it's somebody else saying the words that you said about 5 minutes ago. Oh, there's no point to anything. 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 Oh, there's no point to. Who's saying that? Who's saying that? Who's saying that? It's an echo. It's an echo. It's an echo. You know, going crazy, going crazy, going crazy. Every thought you think reverberates for a long time. Sometimes, you know, it can reverberate for a long time, especially if you keep repeating it. If you keep, yeah, spiraling. This is how spirals happen. Spirals of negativity. You know, because you think one negative thought, which leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another. So, but the beautiful thing about it is that it's just thought. You can stop at any time. It's not, they don't have any power, you know. You can just say, I've had enough now. You know, you can stop. You can stop. And like, yes, an echo will last a little bit, but you just stop. You stop reacting to it. You stop believing it. They do that a lot. Yeah, they will. The thoughts will do that. They'll, they'll, they'll reverberate for a little bit. Don't worry about it.
Hello.
Hey, Sean. They're powerful, says
Sorry,
Rugby. Yeah, they're not
I
powerful.
don't know why my thing cut out there. I was gonna say on hope.
What? You cut off again, Sean. Like little parasites in your brain. Yeah. Well, they are like little parasites, and they will only live by you giving them, by you feeding them. You know what I mean? Like, not that it's your fault. It's not our fault that we're in these pains, because we didn't create these parasites. They are real. They are real, and they do infect your brain. But at the same time, they need your, it's like if I right, it's like this trophy. Like, if I say became a really bad person, and I just like started bothering you, like, and I kind of bully you every day, and I'm like, trophy, you're not doing enough, you're not good, you're not a good person, you're not doing enough with your life, you need to do this, you need to do that, right? If you're not really, if you respect me, you'll really be hurt by what I'm saying. You'll start to take it really personally, because if you respect me, if you value me, you'll basically go, wow, oh my God, what are you saying? Oh, I must be useless. Like, this person that I admire is telling me that I'm useless, or that I'm not doing enough. You'd be really upset. So it's like that with the parasites. It's like somehow we respect them, even though they're toxic and they're poisonous. For some reason, we seem to respect them, because if you don't respect it, you just ignore it. And if it said to you like you just ignore it. Just don't. Why would you listen to a parasite? The only way you can get rid of them is pluck them out, and they will colonize again. No, yeah, you can pluck them out, but they will colonize again, because they know that they're onto something. They know that you're up for a fight. They love that. They love when they get a sense that, like, you're gonna fight them. They get drawn towards you. That's like dinner time. That's like the wildebeest in the wildebeest is cornered, and all the coyotes start coming, because you're weak, you're vulnerable. Then they come for you, then, because you're trying to fight back. Whereas if you just don't fight them, they're ghosts. The problem is I'm right away. Yeah, take your time. It's crazy, like, how we can be happy right now. Like, I'm not saying it as if, like, that's as simple as that. It is as simple as that, though. It's like I have to remind myself. It's just so easy. You can just stop. Even though,
You
like,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now, Sean. Yeah.
Sorry, my mic keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. You can choose to be happy, you were saying.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I even like, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out myself totally. I just noticed last night, like, I was going to sleep, and I was struggling to sleep, and boom, 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 thoughts are going on and on and on, and I'm like, oh, social media, and I want this and I want that, and I'm worried about this and all that. And then I was just kind of looking at it, and I was like, I don't have to think these thoughts. Why am I? Why? I was like, because it was creating a pain in my head. I was in pain, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I? There's no need. There's no reason. It doesn't benefit me. It's not helpful, and I'm fighting myself. I'm literally attacking myself with these thoughts. They're creating stress. They're creating anxiety. They're of no value.
But I think the value, or the reason you want to think about them, is because presumably there's some long-term gain for you.
But if they're creating stress in me, they can't be valuable,
they're counterproductive if it's.
But they're so tricky, because that's exactly it. That's exactly it. They speak as if they have value. Which is so paradoxical, because it's you thinking those thoughts. So it's not like it's some other entity, but like you're thinking thoughts that are causing you stress and pain, and ultimately taking you on the opposite direction of where you want to go. So it's so weird. It's like, are we just mentally retarded, or are we, like, why would we?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, where you're putting pressure on yourself. Whereas if you stop putting pressure on yourself, you'd be more likely to loosen up and actually do the things you want to do, or find another path. That's like the way, right? Just let it be, and the path will present itself, or whatever. Don't stress about it.
Yeah.
But I think in order to accept that, you have to accept whatever you think is the worst case scenario. If you were to just be like, all right, I'm not going to try. What's going to happen if my brain just decides to never do anything? Like, what's the worst case scenario? And if that worst case scenario is not secure, then it's hard to accept it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the worst case scenario for me is pretty much the situation I'm already in, which is living with my parents. I just live in my parents' house. It's fine, it's not as bad as I think you might think it is.
Yeah, it's not as bad.
I moved out when I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. It's not
And
as
every
bad. Yeah.
pretty much every situation I was in between when I left my home and came back to live with my parents was worse than it is just being
Yes.
with my parents. So it's not
Yes.
that bad.
Yes. Yeah. It's not that bad. That's so true. That's the one
I think
thought. Yeah.
a lot of the hopelessness I think comes from pressure from the outside world, or even the outside world which influences your inner thoughts. Like, oh, I have to do this. I have to be that person. I can't be a bum. I can't fucking mooch off my parents forever. I mean, we're not mooching, but we are staying with them. We can't, but even if we were, like, I'd figure out a way to, what's the worst that can happen even in that situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, what if my parents lost their job or for some reason had to lose their house? Then it's like, shit. Then I'm like, oh, fuck, it's panic mode or it's action mode. There's no room for doubt anymore.
Yeah.
Because eventually you come to a point where it's like, okay, I'm reaching my limit of what I'm willing to accept. So I'm just, because like, whatever you think you should be doing or you think you should want, maybe you don't actually want it that much. Like maybe you don't really want that great job or,
Yeah.
but when you're actually pushed to, oh shit, I really don't want to be homeless, then you find out what actually motivates you and you finally
Yeah.
snap into gear, presumably.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have to be, I guess, willing to accept going that far and not like telling yourself or being honest about yourself about what you really care about and what really matters. Because for some people, it really matters to them their reputation for around living at home. But to me, that doesn't matter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It doesn't
Yeah.
have any effect on my life.
Yeah.
So why would I care about it? Maybe it does have an effect, but I don't know what they would be tangibly.
Yeah.
So by being open to whatever the worst thing is that can happen and thinking, well, would that be worse than the situation I'm in now or than the torture that I'm putting on myself?
Yeah.
Probably not. This is worse. Torturing myself is worse. So
Yeah.
I stop.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, yeah. Yeah. That's so true.
And it's hard not to. Like I still like every day I'm like, oh, I should be drawing, I should be painting. Because I do still want things.
Yeah.
But I have to remind myself of like this stress that I'm putting on myself is worse than the worst possible situation. So just let it go. You know, just relax.
Yeah.
And then what happens is obviously your brain relaxes and you start doing other stuff that's healthy. Like I start reading the book instead of like, when's the last time I read a book?
Yeah.
Because I relaxed, you know?
Yeah.
And then maybe the book is going to be helpful in some way and maybe not, you know?
Yeah.
Or I'll socialize, which I mean, that's not going to happen, but it might, you know? It's more likely if I'm not stressing out every day.
Yeah.
Or pick up a new hobby, start exercising, something like that. Where like, because when I was a kid and left to my own devices and not worrying about that stuff, and I don't mean like a child, I mean like 17, 18, I was like so confident everything was going to be fine because I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
And that's what made me do stuff and become more,
Yes.
you know, and learn new things. It's when you start worrying that you stop experimenting and being free and acting free.
Well, I also like what you said about you had the confidence that everything was going to work out as well. That's interesting. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah.
But what you can redefine what, well, I guess you can, to a certain extent, you can redefine what working out means, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, standards may need to change over time. You might have big dreams and big goals, but they're not even necessarily better because, like, you know, there's people with money and who live by them. If I was in their day-to-day life, I wouldn't want it. You know, I wouldn't want to be someone who works 8 hours a day at a shite job I don't like to get things I don't want. You know, I mean, I'm still going to be miserable. I would be. They may not. That's not to say they are. So
Yeah.
it's more about the day-to-day than it is about, you know, reputation or big dreams or big goals.
Yeah.
So, Trophy, if you end up having to stay living with your parents for your whole life, just gonna have to accept it because it's not worth fucking torturing yourself over whatever expectations people have put on you.
Hmm.
And I also think about it like 150 years ago, that's what everyone did. Everyone lived with their parents for their whole life.
Hmm.
Maybe not 150, 250. So it's not that strange. It's only like the last 100 years that people have been like, oh, I should move to the city. Cities didn't even exist for most of our existence. Trophy didn't hear. Is my mic bad?
No, I don't know.
No, I just said that I think hopelessness might be coming from a place of you.
Oh, it did cut
Put,
off. It just cut
no,
off there as
is
you
my back?
Yeah, back again. Yeah.
It might be your hope might be coming from do things that maybe you want to do or to be in situations you don't need to be in. So if you need to live with your parents, is that's the worst case scenario or whatever else is the worst case scenario, it might not be that bad. No, not about being up to hello.
Yeah, you're
Not
back
about
again.
being up to Trophy, more about not being concerned. So how do I phrase this right? I'm not no optimism. No, it's more about maybe lowering your standards. Maybe that's a poor way to put it, but like reevaluating what really is important about like your life. Like maybe you don't need to be the person who you think you need to be or to do the things you think you need to do. Because if you're torturing yourself to be them, then you might cause yourself more problems rather than accepting who you are and being okay with what happens. Not trying to force yourself into a round hole, if that makes sense. And that can take some real evaluation of like being really honest about what your expectations of yourself are. I mean, I don't know you at all. I'm talking more about myself, a lot more about myself. But I think it does affect a lot of people. Like, I need to be this person who does these things. They could be completely wrong, and whatever the worst case scenario is, might not be that bad if you did nothing. Because you never actually do nothing, or maybe you do. Maybe some people do just do nothing, but I don't really think so. What's your
What's what?
What's your worst case scenario that you're running away from when you're trying to force yourself to do videos and that?
For me?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about like it's quite obvious, it's quite natural, like I think it's quite universal. It's just simply like some vague feeling of being I don't want to be a nobody. And that I don't know what that even means, but it's just some deep fear that like I have to stand out, I have to be better, I have to be special in some way. And it's torturous because like I am a nobody. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that in a natural, healthy way. Like I'm a nobody. I'm not. In other words, I'm the same as everyone else. I'm just tin air. Like I'm just made of a few atoms, like everyone else. I'm not special.
When you does that mean like
Does it mean what?
do you mean like be
Try again.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on with it.
Go again. Whoa, it's gone. Robot.
Yeah, it's the I unplugged my mic. Is it working?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what's going. I think it's just the cable or something. Um,
Yeah, it's cutting off the most
when
important
you say
parts. It so is. You'll be like, and here's what you know. Like my advice for you is to just.
when you say special and stand out, does that mean like having a lot of attention and fame? Is that what you're going for? Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you mean by
That's the biggest sort of the most tangible way for the mind to get a feeling of being special is when it gets likes and views and stuff. It tricks the brain, or it makes the brain feel like it's special for a second.
And can I ask, does the popularity of absolute shite on the internet make you rethink whether or not that's actually valuable? Like, does seeing the absolute crap that people put out and get famous for, does that not make that makes me think like that's not that value? I don't want to be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but your brain doesn't know the difference. Like, you know, even if you produce, well,
It does for me. When if I think of like I get what you want. You want numbers, and the numbers are like it feels good when the
yeah,
numbers go up. I get that.
yeah,
But I also think like it's so out of your control that it isn't actually a reflection on you. Because I saw you posted 2 videos yesterday that were almost the same, and one of them I think had like 3 or 4 times as many responses.
yeah,
Because one of them just got put on more people's pages than the other,
yeah.
and it just seems so random and
It's incredibly random.
I think the internet isn't like a really difficult way to evaluate these things.
Yeah, that's so true. It's definitely very random and unpredictable, and yeah, it's not a way of evaluating yourself or your art.
And I think being an artist is really hard to know where you are in the sea of progress. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you just don't know if you're when you're paddling for a while, you just don't know what if anything is changing or anything's happening. And it's
Yes.
so hard to get like, because a lot of people, like so many people are like, wow, that's just amazing. And you don't know
Yeah.
because they might just be being nice, or they might be
Yeah.
genuinely impressed, but they don't have the
Yeah.
skills to evaluate. Or if they're people who are able to evaluate and give advice, they're like hard to come by. It's really, really difficult to stand out as an artist, I think, and to know to be able to know you're making progress.
It is very hard to know. Yes.
And the numbers on Instagram don't not
Yeah.
they're a metric for whether or not you're playing the Instagram game well enough. But I mean, if that's what you want, if I don't know if it helps you to be like, is that really how I want to evaluate myself, whether or not I'm playing the Instagram game well? Because I think you could, if you wanted to play the Instagram game well, I think that's a different pursuit than what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's similar to your pursuit. I think you are also doing videos, but I think you're more interested in the painting than the Instagram game or the YouTube game. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah.
Because you do put time into your videos. Like, I see your videos as very different to your art, and that's not to say that they're
Yeah, I
like
agree.
that they don't both reflect you, but
Yeah, the
I
videos are so
see
different.
so much more fun in the videos.
Yeah. The videos are so different.
But they have to be about the art in a way.
Yeah. I get
But
sometimes
it's
worried
a
about
very
the
different reflection of you. Sorry.
very different reflection. It is a very different. Yeah, I agree with that. They're very polar. Like, I think the videos are bipolar, like not bipolar, manic almost. And
A
I,
little bit.
yeah, and I feel so almost like weird about that because I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
No, man, that's you coming out. Because I think with the art you're doing, there's a lot of like, there's so much technical skill in the art that I think it's maybe hard for you to like, how could you represent your humor through your art? Maybe there's ways to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, the videos are like, they're much more a reflection of your humor and your like
they
the
feel
way
a lot
your
more
mind
vulnerable
works.
as well, I think, because they're like a real insight into my way of thinking, and I have to hold it back sometimes. Like when I was making that video with the cat and my dad and stuff, I had a few jokes in there that I cut out because they're just, I don't even know if they're jokes. They're just so dark. They're just like, I wanted to honor my dad and by painting his dead cat, and I was like, it's not even that bad. It's not even that dark. It's just like, I just felt like it's too extreme. It's like, I sometimes people feel like people would be like, oh, he has no respect for life or cats or like, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that
Yeah.
being too dark. I mean, that's strange because I'm really enjoying your video. Whereas, so I'm like, oh yeah, you should do more of that.
Yeah.
But that's just me, that's
Well,
just
yeah,
coming from my
you definitely
perspective.
are
But I also,
yeah.
but I also think like that is also you, So I think it's probably going to be. You never know. Like it might. Maybe you're one of these guys who can pretend to be Mr. Beast. You know what I mean? And get views.
Yeah.
But like leaning into who you are and what actually comes out your head, I think it seems to me to be.
I like the idea of
the only good way to do it.
I like the idea of combining the two, where it's like Mr. Beast style kind of setups, but then with my kind of twisted, sort of weird humor.
Yeah.
Like one video I'm thinking of doing next is like trying to make art out of really cheap canvases, and then I'll go to Lidl and I'll buy a canvas there because they're like €5 and stuff, and and I can see that being a very clickbaity kind of thing where people would be interested. But then then maybe I'll find ways to bring in the humor. But I don't know. At the same time, I get so frustrated with YouTube because like you put a lot of work into these videos and they don't get the views that you want. But I know that's not the reason to do it either. So sometimes I just take a break because I'm like, oh, I'm just sick of it for a while.
Yeah, I hate the way I hate the pressure the algorithm puts on you.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to encourage you to be like, you have this idea for a video and you want to make the video. And even if it's just for me,
Yeah,
for 20 people who always watch.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying it and you're getting fun out of it, like don't put pressure or like don't like stress about it, but like if you have an idea to make something and you're enjoying making it, and sometimes like it's hard to be. Sometimes it's kind of dangerous to be like only do it if you enjoy it, because sometimes you do have to like grind through some boring parts of a process.
Yeah.
But if you have this interesting vision for something and you want to make it come to life, I know it's annoying about the views, but yeah.
Well, do you know what annoys me more than the views? Do you know what annoys me more than the views is my annoyance about the views. Because I know I'm going against my own artistic integrity, and like if I'm a true artist, I don't care. And I know, and I feel like over the years I've gotten better at accepting the lack of views or whatever, and I feel better and stronger and more artistic. And it's a lot of inner growth to just keep going. It doesn't matter, because like it is a psychology there, like where if you don't get views, sometimes it's not just a disappointment. It also feels a little bit like dangerous sometimes in a weird way. Like sometimes you kind of feel like maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe, it's almost like social rejection. You start to feel that fear of like, oh, maybe I'm in danger. Maybe like there's something wrong and I'm gonna lose. Some monkey instinct kicks in where you're like, this could be dangerous.
Yeah, that thought crossed my mind sometimes as well when I'd post my art and I'm like, I think this is good. Why don't people like me?
Yes, it's very.
I think they like the drawing is skillful.
Like
Why
it's
do
not.
they hate
It's
me
not
so
just
much? But
psychology.
It's not true.
Yeah, it's not just.
Yeah.
It's not just the psychology of like, oh, they don't like me. It's more. It's like, what if I'm in danger? Because like in a way, if you're socially
well, that's the next step. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say it's like the core of it. You're afraid that you're in danger and that you're going to be basically rejected and left out of the food supply. Not that you're thinking it, but probably instinctively you're like, oh, I could be left out of the food or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a very natural. Yeah, it's a very natural thing.
And then of course, like the motivator, which is another limiting thing, because it's like so for me, I get these big feelings of like, oh, I can imagine myself being famous and the power, like but like the power that I'd have, and it's delusional, it's psychotic, and it's narcissistic. But like you get these ideas of, and then like, oh, my ex-girlfriend will want me back and stuff like this, and and then you're like,
yeah,
you're hallucinating these kind of scenarios, and like they're making you insane. They're not, they're like, and they're also instinctual. They're also like, the monkey trying to be the leader. He's trying to get on top of the highest point of the tree, so then all the other monkeys respect him or whatever. But it's like, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, some of that might be loneliness as well.
Yeah,
Like, I know
trying
you
to
live
fill the
alone. I don't know
loneliness.
if you have friends and
It is, yeah. You're trying
that
to
you meet
fill the
up with
loneliness.
regularly.
You're trying to. The idea like that if I'm famous, then people will love me, which is not true at all. At all. There's no correlation. I don't think. But it's very hard. Sometimes I don't fully know, because sometimes like you think, well, if I was famous, I would imagine people would become more interested in me and people would start wanting to meet up with me more. But is that love?
Can I ask? This is a thing I've been thinking about with you for a while, but I've never asked. How many people in your town? Is your town just too small?
It's small. It's small. Yeah, it's very small.
Because I know you've got like a free house,
Yeah.
and I wonder if that's like,
You wonder if what?
you don't have to worry it. I wonder if you have that free house. Like, I know it's a really good, like, it's great to have a base,
Yeah.
but also like I feel like as an artist, it's so hard to find people
Yeah.
that a small town can be
Yeah.
a bit of a curse.
Well, the
at the
weirdest
same
thing of
time.
all is that like I work part time in like a hardware store, in my family's hardware store, like 3 days a week,
Yeah.
and that's so weird because it's like in that scenario, in that environment, I am not in any way artistic. Like I'm just a fucking person. I'm just like I'm nothing. Like mixing paint, moving things on the shelf. Like I'm just, anybody could do the job, and I'm interacting with people that are way older than me. So there's no connection with any of them. Like I don't have any, can't talk about my art, can't talk about philosophy, can't talk about anything I want. I can only talk about the weather and the sports and the GA and stuff like that. And that's, and yet like I think it's actually really good for me. I think without that I would be much more fucked up.
Yeah, no, I agree. Those, I was just gonna say, like, bare connections are actually really valuable because they make you feel like you're vaguely connected to the general populace, you know?
Yeah. Even though it doesn't feed any part of my artistic ego or spirit, like, and sometimes I wish that I had more, sort of people that I could connect with deeper. But then again, here we are, like, here. So I don't know. But ultimately, as well, it's like, yeah, it's all just, I don't know. I feel it's so weird. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel the same. I've got my wife and we spend a lot of time together. We're very happy and all that. We have a good time. And my parents are upstairs, and that's basically all of my social interaction.
Yeah.
So I started going to this market, and it's like a craft market, but it's people who make like little patchwork quilts and sell them just to cover their costs, because they just want to be out socializing. It's not like this community of like serious high level artists is sporadic and spread out around the world. I feel like you almost have to be in a city to make those connections.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be in a city.
Well, and the other thing as
But I
well is
feel
that like
online is weaker.
the other thing as well, even if you were in a situation where there was a bunch of other artists, like, and I've noticed this loads of times, like where my ego will ruin my ego will ruin it, like, because it'll basically separate them. It'll find some problem and it'll be like, oh, they're not quite right, and I don't like the way they did. And then, and I find that like, even if you're with the greatest people in the world, you'd still make I'd still make a fucking bollocks out of it, and I'd still separate myself and ultimately isolate myself.
Yeah, I do that too.
Even if they were the greatest people in the world, like, which again, nobody is really everybody's got their flaws or whatever, or that, like, so I don't even know what I'm looking for half the time. Like I don't even know what I'm looking for. There's nothing.
Yeah, I kind of know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm in a group. Does it? But it's all Spanish, which makes it really difficult for me. But it's also like, it's a group of artists, some of whom do this thing, some of things. Half of whom just or relatives of the artist, and it's like a big kind of conglomerate of like I don't know. It's some of them I've oh yeah they're kind of serious, but then maybe you don't relate to them on another way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like when you're in school, there's 30 people. Well, in my class, it was 30 people around you, and you don't really like. It's not that specific. You're not really looking for something very specific. So you generally tend to find someone similar enough along one dimension.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're limiting that to just artists who are serious about their art, and they're kind of similar to you, and they're this and they're that, it's so few and far between that it starts to feel so random and impossible.
Yeah.
And I feel like those groups can be good, like similar to how you were saying with your work, where it's just like a passing, like a very shallow but still friendly interaction. Like you can have that
Yeah.
in bigger groups of artists who are like not that similar.
Yeah.
But again, it seems to need a big thing, big group, big pot to choose from.
Yeah.
Trophies, trophies struggling. You okay, trophy? Trophies melting. But I also like about you is that I feel like you've come to a place of almost non-judgment with people where you're like, because you've gone a bit mental,
Yeah.
you're more open to other people who are a bit mental.
Yeah.
And so you're less judging and more forgiving of those people, which I
Yeah.
like about you. And that I think makes you more open to conflict not being that much of a problem, which I agree with. Like I'm quite open to conflict because I see like a lot of the reason I think I don't have friends is because when I see a problem, I see that needed to, so I enter into that conversation with them that they don't want to be in. You know what I mean? People
Wait, say that
don't want
again?
to talk about I see the problem as more of a problem than the conflict required to solve the problem.
Okay.
I'm very willing to enter conflict in order to solve a problem, whereas most people are like, I'd rather just keep nice
Yeah.
and not bother with this problem and just
Yeah.
ignore and be fine. And they might be very right to do that. Like it might be in the long term that might actually work. But I think a lot of the reason I don't have friends is because I see this thing that's going on. We should talk about it and sort it out. Whereas that's maybe not always the best option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think you might be similar in that like
Yeah.
you're very willing to talk about
Oh yeah.
the problem and
Yeah.
not take it personally or see it as a flaw in the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people get rubbed up the wrong way about that. But it's understandable as well because sometimes like if someone comes to you and they're like, I see this as a problem about you, it's obviously very natural to be like, wait, what the fuck is? But then, but I think the right response and my response would be like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Like I'm expecting a well formulated argument because I don't want to just like start evaluating myself based on this one person's view without like genuine, investigation on their part to a certain extent. Not
Yeah.
investigation, but like a solid reason behind it. But my natural inclination is like, oh right, oh, okay, because I'm always self-evaluating to and finding issues like, oh, if I didn't do that, this would have been better. So if someone else is like, if you didn't do that, this would have been better. Like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. Whereas if I say that to someone else, if you didn't do that, something would have been better. You know?
Hmm.
And that's why I like giving feedback about art on the internet, because people
Cause what?
want me to tell them why I think they're wrong.
Yeah. Trophy what? I mean, like, I'm not. I'm. Yeah. I saw an art school poster with AI art on it.
Oh, stop. I'm doing this.
You're doing what?
Mic in. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm doing this craft market that's all about. Hello. And they
Yeah.
use AI to or expect people to support local artists when you use an AI art to promote it.
Yeah.
So stupid. But they're 60, so they don't know any better, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried about AI art at all. Like I see loads of posters now with AI kind of designs and stuff, but like I think it's fine. It's better. It's better than what they had before. Like they weren't able to make any posters really. So now that everyone can make them, it's fine. But and also I don't see it as a threat to like I'm not a graphic designer, so that wouldn't be my area. But even still, if I was a graphic designer, I wouldn't be afraid because like the AI art is very formulaic and it's limited. Like I find it even with the YouTube thumbnails as well. Like it can do really good it can do good thumbnails, and I've used it. I used it obviously in my new video, but and it's better than nothing. Like it's like it's going to put you. But it's only going to put you into the main. It's not going to put you into the next level. Like a graphic designer would still be able to evaluate that and say, no, actually, this is what's going to make it even better. Like the AI is going to be so limited, but I think it's useful for most people, but it's just like if you want to get that edge, like you'll still be able to find a way. It's an art school too. You have hundreds of artists. Yeah. Yeah. But like artists will always make art. No, I wouldn't worry about that at all. You see, it's more about money. I think that's the issue. I think people feel angry that like no one's getting paid, and that's fair.
Yeah.
But that's a different issue.
Or
Or what?
cutting it.
Go ahead. No, I can't hear you at all. Talk.
Hello.
Go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry. This
Sean, your mic is pissing me off. Yeah, what the fuck's going on? What is it? Is it the internet connection or is it the mic? What? The problem is it have to get a reference right. AI copy someone else's art for someone. Yeah. Well, it does, yeah. But then you could argue that all art is a copy of someone else's art, you know? Like any artist that learns how to draw or paint, they're learning from someone else. They're copying their style, you know? And then eventually they might learn how to they might have their own style and they might have their own thing, but they've essentially stole at the start. Well, and steal wouldn't be the right word, of course. Less money for the original artist. Yeah, I think that's what the main issue is it's just this feeling that there's not enough money, or something. um And that's more of an issue to do with like survival, I think, a little bit as well. But AI can't develop original art. It's not. But that's, yeah, and that's true. AI cannot develop anything original. It can make things that look kind of new, but they're not new and they're not original. And although like it's hard to tell sometimes, it is pretty good at like tricking us, even with music sometimes. But I think at the same time, no, you know what? Actually, it's not good. I don't think AI is able to trick us. I think, well, maybe it is. I don't know, but I think we've all gotten used to it now. Like I know when it first came out, it was like whoa, but now it's like you start to see the signs more quickly. You know, like with music, say like it makes music that's really good, like really technically good, but you can. I think often you can tell that it's AI. I think there's deepfake too. The art of P earned is stolen. Yeah. Well, that's even worse. That's a bad thing. That's deepfakes are obviously terrible. But that's down. I would say that's down to more like terrible people as well. Like these terrible people, that were like they would have found some other way to do their terrible things as well. They would have found a way. It's not necessarily the AI fault. It's like a gun, kind of. It's like Sean is in the fourth dimension. Oh yeah, it's scary as fuck. The people are scary. Yeah, people are. That's true. There's some bad people out there for sure. Yeah. No, no, it isn't the AI's fault. It's just a tool. I'm not mad at AI. Yeah. Well, I know a lot of. I'm mad at people using it. Yes, 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 yes. But don't worry about it because like you are doing fine. What does it feel like to be angry? I know we all feel it, but like what does it feel like to feel angry? What does it feel like to be angry? Because it doesn't help, Like it's not. Well, maybe it does help, but like it's not going to really negative. Yeah, negative. Exactly. Yeah, negative. It's a kind of a negative feeling, and like I think like why would you want to feel something negative? Why would you be feeling something negative? I think it's because it's like you feel you have to. You feel like it's important. I think we feel when we're angry. I think we feel like I don't know. Why would you be angry? If it's a negative feeling. I know what you mean though. I totally understand. And you might say, well, I'm angry because of them. They're causing it. If they stopped being terrible, then I wouldn't be angry and I'd be happy. So like it's their fault. It's not in my control. It's their fault. Yeah, exactly. It's not in my control. It's in their control. They have the control over my emotional state, you know? So basically like they're able to make me suffer in my own mind, in my own thoughts. They can make me suffer. Well, a Discord is at tuning my voice. I think it's very weird. That sounded selfish as F. Wait a second. Narcissistic. What sounded narcissistic? Yeah, Sean, I don't know what's happening there, buddy. It's crazy. Maybe will you try a different app? Like putting the blame on people. No, no, it's not narcissistic. It's not. It's natural. Very natural thing to do. We all do it. We all do it. Don't worry about that. Well, if it's narcissistic, then we're all narcissistic. You know, I don't think it's narcissistic. I think it's just like it's a yeah, boy, Cass. I just joined. What I miss? You missed everything, man. You missed everything. It's over. No, we were just talking about angry you or anger, your boy Cass. We're talking about anger and how like when we're angry, when we feel anger, we tend to basically feel like it's the other person is causing it, you know, because of what they're doing. So for example, we were talking about AI and we were talking about how like people are using AI to benefit themselves or you know to do things that hurt other people or take advantage of people, and we as artists tend to feel angry about that because we feel like it's you know we just feel angry. But then we were saying like, but why would we be angry? Because it's only hurting us to be angry. And why would we want to be angry? It's not helping. It doesn't help the situation to be angry. It doesn't make it better. It just makes more pain. And then you know Trophy was saying, but it's not my control. It's like they're the ones that have the power over me. Their actions and their bad behavior is making me angry. You know, the funny thing is as well though is that like they probably want you to be angry. So like you're giving them exactly what they want by being angry. You know, anybody that's evil like and taking advantage, they enjoy creating misery. So yeah, rage baited. That's I suppose the word. Yeah, rage baited. Yeah. Well, at least AI can't make original physical paintings. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, boy, that's true. That's so true. I totally agree with that. That's why I'm not worried about AI at all. I don't think it can ever really make real art, you know, whatever that means. Discords definitely think my voice is background noise. Um, no, because it's cut maybe, but it's cutting in and out. Like I don't know why it's doing that. It's cutting in and out. Oh, what about your input profile, Sean? There's voice isolation, there's studio, and there's custom. Maybe if you go with studio, make sure it's set to studio in the settings. They don't care about Sean. They don't care about Bruno, no, no. What's that song? They don't care about us. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. All I gotta say is that they don't really care about us.
They don't really care about us.
There you go. Did you try changing the setting?
I tried changing everything. I think I'm just holding it upside down and backwards.
And are you on studio mode? It sounds better.
No, but I think the loose connection. I think it's a loose connection that was causing like some weird noise to come through, and it was canceling. It was blocking out everything, even in studio mode.
Okay, sounds better now anyway.
Yeah, it's upside down. That's the trick.
Bruno's gonna find us. Yeah.
The thing on AI, but yeah, I think it was like, um, the problem is people. What really annoys me is people getting paid to use AI
Yeah.
because you're getting paid to use someone else's work that they didn't get paid for. That's really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them weren't gonna use, a lot of people who use an AI, whatever, billboard or whatever, they weren't gonna hire someone anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, so in that instance, I'm like, well, there's not really a lot of harm being done there. But I swear, where they're hiring someone to do the job instead of the person who actually trained the algorithm, that's fucking so annoying.
Yeah. Well, what I find so amazing about the AI is how quickly it became redundant in my experience. So like when I like following AI, and like I'll use it here and there for little design elements and stuff, because like when you're running your own business, like you want everything at your you want to use all your tools, like. And so if I can make a better image for Etsy using AI, I'll do it, like because it like I just will, like. And I don't feel like I'm stealing from anyone, and like it just helps me to sell my art, like. So I'll use it. Um but what I find is that, like, it's like very quickly the progression in AI is becoming redundant, and it's like you're not standing out anymore because they all look the same. And like I find that with the posters that I see around the town and stuff, like they're all using AI and stuff, and they all look the same. So like it's fine, like go ahead, use them, but you're not going to stand out, and you're not going, so
Yeah.
that's the nature of art as well, is we always have to reach the next stage, and AI is it's always going to be a few steps behind us.
Yeah, it becomes generic very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes generic. So I couldn't believe how quickly, like I made a poster for something, I can't remember what it was, and I used AI, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I thought like it was standing out so much. And then like a couple of weeks later, everyone had it. Of course, because it's free for everyone to use. So it's going to be.
I think that another problem is like a lot of people are so against it that I think it's not worth. I think it looks, even if you're not really against it, like in the moral, let's say it was all ethically trained and whatever other reasons people don't like it for the environmental impact, whatever. I think it just looks, if I see someone do an AI, I'm thinking, you're not trying, you want someone else to do the thing for you. What? I'm not interested in your product if you're not interested in your product.
Yeah.
And even if it's just for a pub, I'm like, it just leaves a slight, like, it also just doesn't look, I don't know. Maybe that's just my artist brain being like, this doesn't look that good as well. And
Yeah.
it looks
Well, that's the
cheap
other thing as
and
well.
lazy.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, yeah. It
Puts
doesn't.
me off. If I had to choose between, if there were two pubs next to each other, one had a normal fucking menu that was boring and generic, and one of them had some AI shite, I wouldn't choose the AI one because I just think I don't agree with these people. Like, I don't agree with their taste to a certain extent, and it looks like. Another one I heard recently was talking about, but if you're buying bikes online, it was very specific because I'm looking into bikes at the minute, and if they're using AI to sell their bikes, and this is people who are not interested in art, they're interested in bikes. I wouldn't use that website because if they're cutting corners there, where else are they cutting corners?
Yeah.
So it kind of just leaves like a lazy, uninterested taste in the mouth.
Yeah.
Impression thing.
I saw something online about a gas station called Buc-ee's in the US using AI for an advertisement that was printed above a gas pump.
Yeah, I see them all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah. Did you see how they trained AI to block gore videos? No, what's that about? That sounds like a good thing, no?
Yeah, it's definitely good. I definitely think there's good uses in this thing. I just don't think it's in generative stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, yeah, I don't know. It makes you think a lot about life and art, and like, what are we trying to do exactly? And what is it that makes art art? Like, because if AI can make art that looks right for the most part, it can do things that look good. It looks good sometimes, then it's hard to like, what is it that we are trying to do as artists that the AI can't do? That's why a lot of people I think are really feeling hopeless, because it feels very threatening. It feels like it just stampeded right into the artist kind of, and I think, in fairness, I think artists sometimes are a little bit precious about their art, and a little bit like protective, and, oh, I worked so hard for this, and this is, this is a gift from God kind of thing, and then AI just comes in and just says, no, it's not, and I can do it now. I took everything. I took all the knowledge that you learned, and now I have it. And so, like, what's your gift of God? It's not a God gift at all, you know. Like, if a computer can do it, all your art up to this point was under the impression of it being some sacred thing, but now it's not, because like a computer can do it, and it turns out that it was just this mechanical process all along, which doesn't, for me, doesn't undermine the value of it. Like, art is still really beautiful, but at this point we're starting to question: is it just a mechanical thing? You know, is it just that you learn how to do this way? Like, how is it different to a plumber? How is it different to an electrician who just learns the craft of how things work? Or how is it different to like an accountant who learns about numbers? Why is art put on this pedestal of being somehow superior and of a higher nature? And I think that's why a lot of artists feel really threatened, because it's like, it's threatening that. It's threatening the idea that it's sacred, which it's not. Well, it could be. Art maybe can be sacred, but I don't think it's inherently sacred just because you learned how to paint. I don't think it, you know, there's a kind of a physics to that. There's a kind of mechanism to that which anyone can technically learn, if, you know, especially if you have the inclination towards it. But like, it's not in itself sacred, you know, unless you give it sacredness through your humanity, whatever that means. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
I think what differentiates it from like plumbing or whatever, and I do agree that it's like it's a craft, it's a skill you can learn, anyone can learn. I don't see it as sacred at all. I think it's just that it's beautiful
Yeah.
and people really like it, and that's what I think when you see something beautiful. Like if I had a robot come in and, you know, plumb my house or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool, they did a job. But I think there's like there's some sort of projection or connection or impressiveness about this was made by a human. You know what I mean?
But
If
why though?
when you see,
Why more? Why more
well,
impressive than a plumber who?
because well, it's not that it's. I think. Sorry.
What about a chef? Actually, chef's a
Let
better
me
example.
restate it.
Chef's a better example, maybe. Chef's a better example. What about like AI learns how to cook? Like, because it probably will in the future. It'll be a bit more complicated because it'll probably have to have a physical form, or not necessarily. Or is there a better example? Something that has some inherent, because like, I don't know. Culinary is an art too.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Because maybe
yeah, I mean, plumbing can be art.
can plumbing be art? That's what I was just thinking. Can it? Maybe it's not. It
Yeah,
has
I'd
to be.
say
It can
so.
be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think it becomes art when you see beauty in it. And I think people like the idea that that beautiful thing is made by a person. I really think it's just that simple. And when you know that the beautiful thing is not made by a person, it makes it less. It kind of like it feels to me like
Well, why does it matter if it's a person that made it? In theory, I'm
I
not.
don't I
Yeah.
don't think it does matter practically, but I think
Okay.
it does matter in terms of like whether or not it's like if you print out a photo from a printer, nobody's like, wow, what an amazing printer. You know what I mean? But if a person paints a thing that looks beautiful, people are more not impressed by it, but like it's the knowledge that a person made it is what is interesting about it. You know what I mean? It's like I can if I kick the football right into the top corner, that's really impressive. But if we program a digital
Yeah.
football game where the
Yeah.
where the
Yeah. That's a good one.
player always kicks the ball into the top corner, it's not as impressive, you know?
Yeah.
So we like the when a person can do something that we like, you
Yes.
know?
Yes. Yes.
But
Yeah.
but
That's so
plumbing isn't
interesting.
meant to be impressive.
Yeah. No, that you. I got you on the point now about the footballer. That gets it for me. Yeah, that gets it. Yeah. Yeah, like I kind of feel that's why I don't feel threatened by AI at all, because I feel like it's just mimicking human progression. It's just, it's, you know, we should look at AI. I think, I don't know, but I'm just, maybe like AI is just like a little brother or something who's copying us. Like, they're learning from us. They're, you know, not that that's personifying it. It's not, but like, it can never do better than us. Even though some people would say like it actually is more intelligent than human beings, but I suppose it's like, it's not better than humanity. It can never be better than humanity. It's because it has access to all of humanity. So like it's probably like it is better than any individual person. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It is godlike in a sense, not godlike, but it's like the perfect human being. It could potentially be like a perfect human being, but of course
I know
lacking.
what you mean. If you take the best from everyone,
It
yeah, I
takes
know
the
what you
best
mean
of
by that.
everything. Like it knows about law, it knows about this, and then if you put it into like a physical form, it'd be like the perfect human being. But
But it could also be the worst.
it could also be the worst. So it has no soul, I guess is the word. But then I hate the word soul, like, because I don't know why I hate it. I just feel like it's just so easily.
I don't like those words either. But
Yeah, it's so easily like,
it's
I don't know, sort of
corruptible,
yeah.
misusable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're using soul in the way I defined it there as like we like when it's done by a human because we are human, I think that's like, yeah, it leaves you hollow when you find out that it's not. And it's hard to describe why that is exactly.
Trophy likes the word soul though. Like, it's not that I don't like. Yeah, it's just an what does it mean? What do you think it means? When people say the soul, like one word that I thought maybe as well is consciousness. That I often use that word, but then I'm like, is that so? That's kind of the same thing. But what is consciousness then? Because people will say, "Oh, AI can't be conscious," and that's what makes humanity, sort of special in a way. Like, and I don't really like it, but my vocabulary is tiny. Yeah, we're all working with words here, like soul, consciousness, awareness, spirit. I don't know. Also, like, if we have a soul, is that soul different to, like, the soul of a animal? Because then it's like hierarchy. It's like, oh, a human being. I don't know, man. That's why I use it regularly.
Dogs at the top.
Dogs at the top. Yeah. Pure souls.
I think it's just human. I think it's like we like the idea that it's like when you see a cave painting as well, it's fascinating that just to
Yeah.
think about the person who did it,
Yeah.
even if it's not that impressive.
Yeah.
And that's coming from someone who hates humans, so just natural, like a little bit of projection, maybe a little bit of relation, connection,
Yeah.
a little bit of fascination. Like how can make you kind of think about yourself a little bit. I think when you see something beautiful or hear something beautiful, or just like be transported somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think it really is just inherent that for most people, when they know that it's done by a computer, it just there's nothing to connect to anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I don't. I don't think it's that scientific. It's not very practical. It's more maybe it's biological, but I don't think it's a very practical view of like this picture is better because it was made by a human, even though this picture is objectively maybe more representative or has, more pleasing colors,
Yeah. And one thing I saw about the AI was that it was starting to do like little podcast, like, pretending to do a podcast, and that's so interesting because it's like
They're so bad.
they're
Have
so
you listened
bad.
to them? They're
but
so
but
funny.
but on the surface, if you were like overhearing it on someone else's laptop, you
Yeah, if you heard it for like 3 seconds, you're like, all right, it's a podcast.
yeah, you
And
would
then
think
it
it's a podcast.
so
but if,
quickly
if you,
falls apart.
If you started listening to it, you'd be like, oh, this is kind of nonsense. Yeah, but it'll get better and better, and you'd have to really start. Eventually, you'll have to really listen to kind of go, wait, there's nothing here. It's nonsense.
There was I've listened to some videos that are supposed to be like, here's 50 science facts about fucking dinosaurs or whatever. It's like this. It's so strange. It's almost surreal in how
Yeah.
like it sounds like it's not repetitive, but then you realize you're not getting any information. But it sounds like it's really, really strange.
It's
like
fascinating.
every sentence starts with this like generic intro to what the general topic is about,
Yeah.
and you're like, and then you're waiting for this payoff and you don't know if it's coming or not. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I saw a short recently of a guy. It's a comedy thing. It's just a guy walking. Oh, hey Tom, you want to go out and get some? Go out and get something to eat. It's like going out and getting something to eat is a really nice idea and really cool and has lots of benefits. It's like
Yeah.
they are technically responding to what he
Yeah.
said, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, those videos. I don't know. It might get better. I'm actually dubious about whether it will because there's a lot of people talking about how it's plateauing and maybe there's an upper limit to how
Yeah.
good it's going to get, but who knows?
I think as well, it's like because and then you could apply the same thing to like other people who are making human beings who are making videos that like are just boring and dull and don't have they're kind of not totally comparable, but like I know this in this terms of like sometimes you'll be watching a video and you're like, oh, this is uninteresting, I don't want to watch this. Like you get the same lack of satisfaction, you know, the same sense of disappointment, like there's nothing happening or you don't feel whatever. um,
No, maybe not exactly. Like you can poorly structure like an essay or a piece of text
yeah,
to where it's kind of frustrating to sit through because you don't know where it's going or
yeah,
whatever, or it can just be waffling and nonsensical.
yeah,
But this is like it's convincing you that it is going
yeah,
somewhere, but you don't know when it's going to get there or where, you know. It's
yes,
strange. It's really strange. It's like following the formula for good writing,
yeah,
but without actually knowing what its point is.
yeah. That's pretty much it, right?
It's
Yeah,
really weird.
yeah. I believe I can fly.
I get maybe a similar dissatisfaction with generic art, where it's
Yeah,
like it's technically working,
yeah,
but it's I don't know, like music, you get so many pop songs. There's like, gee, how many times have I heard this song?
yeah.
Especially in Spain, where every song is reggaeton. Although I think that's dying out, thankfully.
I believe I can fly. I'm tired of not understanding anything. No good. Why am I so stupid? Are you stupid? What do you mean? Why did you say that?
Yeah, I'd love to know where we lost you, Trophy. I don't know.
I believe I can. Yeah, life is so weird, man. It is so weird because, like, one minute I'll be like, oh my God, I want to be dead. And then the next minute I'll be like, God damn it, I'm happy. Like, it's literally like can change in 5 seconds. And it's so crazy. And I think overall I'm getting happier and happier, having more moments of feeling fulfilled and satisfied and happy. But because like for a long time my life was like nightmare zone, just torture, like really bad. um and then overall, slowly I started getting a bit of balance, a bit of kind of stability back. And you know now I'm kind of at a point where like I'm mostly on the up. um but there's still sometimes that old sort of feeling of like whatever, pain, disappointment, dissatisfaction. Um, it's so ancient as well. Like it feels like an old thing. Like that feeling of like dissatisfaction or whatever the hell it is, disappointment, some kind of uncomfortable sense of I'm not quite where I want to be. I'm not quite who I want to be, and something's not right. Something. is missing, and I'm running, whatever, just that vague sense that something's wrong, something's off, something's not quite right. And like it convinces you. It'll always find a way to convince you. It'll cling on to something that's sort of wrong. It'll find something. It'll be like, well, yeah, I mean, you didn't do that thing yesterday, so I mean, what are you going to do about it when it comes around tomorrow or something? And like, then you believe that, and it's so convincing, and it's like it's crazy. And then and once you believe that, then like suddenly you find yourself just off, and like everything looks off. The color drains, and like you're like in a black and white world, and then that only confirms your suspicion that there's something wrong, because now everything looks black and white. But it's only black and white because you believed that one thought that said like something was wrong.
Yeah, and it causes stress, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know my view on this. Like, I feel like I probably operate at like a natural low, similar to you.
Yeah.
Maybe not as low.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But I just feel it's like you need to just manage it and you need to take actions that bring it up.
Yeah.
Like I put it in the external world rather than I don't think it's like there's a certain amount of thinking your way out of it. Like you can definitely like that like we were talking about earlier where you're putting pressure on yourself to do something that maybe isn't that important.
Yeah.
Um but also like I've been kind of down recently and that's because when I was painting that mural every day I had to go out at a certain time
Yeah.
and that my brain doesn't handle that shit. I can't fucking deal with it
Yeah.
when I'm sitting around waiting for something. It just makes me feel anxious.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something like I don't know. Maybe I can take my way out of that. Maybe there's like a psychological trick I can play on myself to not feel anxious when that's the case. But now that I don't have to do that, my mood's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to know sometimes whether it's like, do you need to change your circumstances or do you need to just like reconsider your thoughts on something? But I tend to put more emphasis on the circumstance thing because I think it's well, I mean, maybe there's like a worry there that you're kind of running away from a deep rooted issue, I guess. That you're not thinking, as I said, you might be putting this pressure on yourself and then you're just doing things in your external world to make yourself cope. I don't know. Because you're always coping, you know what I mean? Anyone, if they just lay down and did nothing all day, they'd feel bad. You know what I mean? So we're always kind of doing stuff that makes us feel good enough. But I think some people just operate where their normal is just lower. So maybe they need to do more. But yeah, with the heat and the intensity of the sun, it's been harder to go outside. And I've got these fucking neighbors across the road who are all constantly making noise, which irritates me. So I've actually been on a low recently. So I just need to fucking figure out a way to not be irritated or
Mm-hmm.
too hot.
Yeah. I think for me, I
Yeah,
think my big, yeah, go ahead.
sorry. My general view is like, yes, it's good to maybe think about yourself, but also it's good to think about whether or not you're doing the things that just bring your mood up, basically,
Yeah.
and not doing the things that bring it down.
I think for me, I'm very precious about my body. I'm very like, um, too sensitive, about my own body. Like, I think I I wish I could just disregard my body a little bit, just be like, because it's so annoying. Like, I mean, I don't know what the fascination is I have with my own body, where it's like the most important thing. It's like this body is so important, and how it feels is everything. Like I don't know. It's like it's a kind of a hell, to try and keep the body in the right thing all the time, because like the body is just never quite right, you know. I don't think. There's always something wrong with it.
Sorry, I cut out for a bit there when you said I don't know why the body feels so important.
Yeah, yeah. I think I put too much importance on it. I think that and I know I kind of feel this deep attachment to my body, like that it's precious and that, like, you know, it sort of, yeah. And I
Well, I
think
don't think there's any reason to believe you can live without your body, so I think it's good to take care of it. And
but I think that,
if your body's healthy, your brain is healthier.
yeah. It's just it's like it's never ending, the needs of the body, you know, like, and I feel like it's probably not as complicated as we think it is, you know.
Oh yeah, to a certain extent. Like, it's definitely diminishing returns when it comes to like maybe nutrition and stuff. But I find it that when I do exercise, my brain's just less anxious. So it's a general tends to be the general
Trophy says can't relate.
reaction.
What do you mean you can't relate to what?
I mean, I wish it wasn't so much effort to keep the body in good condition. I wish I didn't have to fucking eat, sleep, and drink and do all these certain things at certain times and cook
Yeah.
and
I just feel
love
like
all
I'm
that.
very sensitive with my body, where it's like, you know, it's like, I wish I could just be a little bit more like blasé, kind of reckless, even reckless about it. Just kind of like, ah, fuck it, just, you know, like, not in a,
In what sense?
I don't know.
Like food
No,
or
not necessarily food. No, I like to, but not necessarily food. Just more like, I don't know. A little bit carefree. Yeah, like that's like Trophy saying, a little bit more carefree about it. You know, I feel like, you know, because my body has all its needs and wants and stuff, and they're just so annoying. Like, because I can't fulfill half of them. Like, they're not fulfillable. Like, it wants a partner, it wants a relationship, it wants this, it wants that. Like, those things are of no value to me right now in my life, because I don't feel like it's just not right now. There's no time, there's no interest. But yet the body's like, oh, I want it. But I just feel like I should be in charge of my own body. Like, you know, it's like the body's trying to tell me what to do. You know, some deep instinct is telling me I need this, I need that, I need the other thing. It's like, actually, you know, I don't need anything. You just, you know, I feel like the body's gotten. It's like a child, not a child, but like a, you know, it's like a immature kind of thing.
I've definitely cracked the code of what you're talking about, by the way.
You what?
I've definitely cracked the code of what you're talking about, by the way.
How do you mean?
He's talking about sex, guys.
Yeah, well, but and the whole thing around that. But yeah, basically, yeah. But also the whole kind of rubbish around that. But yeah, basically that's a huge part of it, and you know, and it is also all you could actually say it is all about that. Really, I think Freud said that once, and he's not wrong. Like, it's pretty, but like, what, it doesn't even matter. Like, yeah, primal instincts. Basically, that's the point. Primal instincts: food, comfort, pleasure, yeah, all of that. And it basically, it annoys me, because it's like, it's like, I don't know, it's a road that leads nowhere. It's a road that leads nowhere, and it is so demanding. It's never satisfied. It always wants more pleasure, happiness, joy, food, whatever. It always wants more, and it's like, and then if it doesn't get it, it's in a bad mood. If it doesn't get what it wants, it's like, you know, it's just so ridiculous. But then, can we live without the body? You know, that's a big question. It's like we're in this terrible relationship, like, where we're being abused, but we're also being given little treats here and there, and we're just not strong enough. Or even maybe not just that, maybe there is nowhere for us to go. Maybe we are trapped inside the body. Maybe there is nowhere else to go, you know. But so, but whatever the case is, I feel like I'm in this toxic relationship with my own body, where it has all these demands, and it's like, it's like, you know, it's constantly saying, you know, do you have you know, it's just so annoying. I let it go a long time ago. I haven't even showered in 2 weeks. Okay, well, that's a different situation. You haven't showered. Why? Do you not like showering? So you don't that's extreme. That's the other extreme then.
No, I'm with Trophy. Showering's overrated.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I didn't get up in a while. Oh my God, Trophy, what's going on? You haven't got up in a while. You don't go for walks or anything. Jesus. Summer break, yeah. You gotta get out. You gotta get out. You gotta get out once a day, you know, maybe. I have no friends, so I'm just bed rotting all day. Jesus Christ. What? Come on, Trophy. Why? Don't. You're young. You're still so young. Come on, you gotta get out every now and again. Even just by yourself, just for a walk. I turned my mic down a little bit, it was very loud. I think.
Yeah, even if it's earphones in, hat on, sunglasses on,
Yeah, go
it's
totally
good to be outside.
incognito, yeah. Blah, too much work, you know. No, it's not work, it's fun, it's enjoyable, like, you know.
Feel so much better after.
You feel so much better afterwards, even during it, like, you know. Well, also another thing that you have to look at is what's stopping you from going outside. You know, because you could look at it in two ways. You could look at it like, you know, first of all, you should be trying to get up and you know pushing because you can't bed rot, Trophy. Please, come on, like you're too young for that. It's too good of a day, probably. I'm assuming. Just don't like let that, you know. But also, so you need to push yourself. But also like, why would you not want to go out too, as well?
Depends where you live as well. If you
Yeah.
live in like a city, it could be very stressful to be
Yeah,
outside.
that's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question.
If you live in the countryside, maybe there's only one road to walk down. Or
That's
maybe
so.
you can walk across a field or something. It's
Yeah,
hard to
so
know.
so maybe Trophy, tell us what's stopping you from going out as well. Yeah, that's a good question because yeah,
If I walk around people, I feel so much more tense. But if I walk out where it's quiet,
yeah. I live in the biggest city of my country. Ooh,
yeah, that's
okay,
annoying. That's really
okay,
annoying.
right. The sun is good for your mental health. Yes. Well, probably. I don't know if it's good for your
Yeah,
mental. It
definitely.
maybe. Yeah, I suppose it has a knock-on effect. Yeah, it's probably good, definitely for your body, which I suppose has some kind of effect on your mind. But then again, not totally. I don't know. Like, it does to some degree. But I think people would that have serious mental trouble, like I did, the sun made no difference to my mental health. But it makes a difference to your physical health, which is kind of good too. You have to at least, like, if you want to have any hope of getting into a good, healthy, happy place, you've got to at least kind of get your physical a little. Well, I don't like giving advice because there's so many different ways of approaching it. There was a long time, like, to be honest, I used to not.
It just
Yeah,
You're saying you don't like giving advice, but I think you just don't know it depends on the situation. I
it
think is a
depends on the
problem.
situation, and there's so many
But
different ways of addressing it.
physical health and exercise is rarely going to have a bad effect.
Yeah,
But if you're putting pressure on yourself to do it,
yeah,
then maybe the stress is not worth it.
yeah, yeah. That's true.
But finding a way to do it that doesn't feel like pressure is a good thing to think about. Can I think of a way to get out, get moving that doesn't stress me out, that I actually enjoy is really helpful.
Yeah. Oh, this just makes me very sad, Trophy, that you're bed rotting. Like, and I because I know what that feels like, and I've been there too, and it's just so sad. Like, you know, especially because you're so young, you know, and like, well, unless you're, you know, I'm not trying to say that you're in a, you know, maybe you're okay, maybe you're happy like that or somehow, but like, it's just not, it's not a, it's kind of. I have seasonal depression, so the sun generally helps me, but I know it's not like that for everyone. Yeah. So it's a tricky one. Everyone's different. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm the same as that. Sunshine. The winter gets me down.
Mm. Well,
And
yeah,
being inside all day.
yeah, yeah. Like yes. Yeah, I have been getting more meds. It would be better, I think. Well, obviously, I'm no expert on this at all now, so I don't know anything. But I don't know anything about medication. But obviously, every medication has a downside too. I presume, like maybe one of the downsides is bed rotting. I know people in my life that were on medication and it helped their mental illness, but it made them not be able to move and walk around the place and stuff. But um, is that applying to you? I don't know. I don't know anything about meds, but I do. Do you need meds? I don't mean that to you personally. Just in general, like, I feel like medication is such an extreme thing sometimes, depending on the medication, But like, I mean, because it's like by taking, like, this is just pure opinion now. This is nonsense, everything I'm about to say. But like, sometimes people, when they take medication, they're basically telling them, yeah, even prescribed. It's even worse if it's prescribed sometimes a little bit, because like, not for you personally, but just it can be worse because you're basically telling your own body, I'm sick, I'm ill. I know this is totally bullshit. Like, it depends totally on the situation, but sometimes, if it's, especially if it's a mental thing, you can actually be exasperating the kind of thing, confirming to yourself that you are mentally ill. You know, when maybe it's just that you're not able to, you're just struggling with certain thoughts. You just happen to have my psychologist made me take. You see, even the language there, the psychologist made you take them. I don't know if you meant to put it in those words, but like, just that's often how it is. I went to a psychologist once. They told me I was schizophrenic, and they told me to take a load of medication. So like, and I'm not schizophrenic. I've never once had a fucking thought that was not my own. So like, but I'm not saying they're all like that. But and it's not that you shouldn't take medication. But also it's more about the psychology of why are people treating you like you're ill. There's nothing necessarily wrong with you. Maybe just that you happen to have a certain negative thought process, that you need to fix. That's all. Sometimes, depending on. Yeah, they told me I was schizophrenic, and that was a complicated thing because somebody sent me there and told them that I might be schizophrenic. So then I went there, and then so they had the information that he might be schizophrenic, and then when I was there, they I didn't. I was just being myself. But they said, yeah, I don't know if you're schizophrenic, but you should take these medications just in case. And I was like, why would I take them? And they were like, just in case, you just take them, try them out, see how they go. And I was like, no, I'm not going to take them. Why don't you take them? That's what I said. And then she was like, no, why would I take them? And I was like, exactly. So why would I take them? Oh, man. Every artist's canon thing. Yeah. It takes away your sense of self. Yeah. I don't know. Trophy, what kind of illness are you diagnosed with? Major depression. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Major. Not something unexpected in this day and time. Oh, you mean like as in a lot of people have that, is it? Yeah. Yeah, probably. Maybe. Doesn't discount your personal thing as well though. I mean, like, you're having it personally. It's all fine to say maybe people have it, but obviously from your point of view, you have this experience of uh, you know, mm, mental illness basically, or whatever the word is, depression. Somehow your mind, right? We're talking about your mind. We're not necessarily talking about your physical body. You might have things going on there too, but like primarily it's like your mind is creating misery, or depression in this case. It's creating a deep sense of hopelessness, of misery, of depression. Like no point to anything. There's no point. It's all meaningless. There's no hope. So your mind is powerful like that, and it's out of control. You're not able to control it. You're not able to change it. You're not able to do anything about it. It's just on all the time. Depression. It's heavy. It's to the point that you can't even go for a walk. You can't go out and socialize. You can't have fun because it's so heavy. It's crushing you. That's what's happening. And you're taking medications to hopefully alleviate it a little bit and to come back to normal and to not be sort of so on the brink of misery. Um, but yeah, your boy, it's not unexpected, but that doesn't mean you matter less. I agree with that 100% because, like, yeah, and sometimes it's good to just have somebody acknowledge what you're experiencing. That's all I'm doing there. I'm not giving you a solution. I'm just acknowledging what you're experiencing and the impact and the profoundness of what you're experiencing, because even just that sometimes is enough to kind of go, oh, thank you. That's exactly it. Like, and instead of, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, just simply like, yeah, I know what you're experiencing, and in a way it makes it okay. It makes it kind of okay that, like, yes, that's exactly it. I'm glad I didn't what do they say, what's the way I can say it, unalive myself. I'm glad I didn't unalive myself. I like having talks like this with you, Jack. Yeah. But see, like, even that thought about unaliving yourself, that's mental illness. That's not you. That was never you. You have never thought about that. I'm telling you 100% that you have never, ever, ever thought about that. You've never wanted to do that to yourself. No way. That's not natural. There's no way you ever wanted to do that. It's the mental illness. And the mental illness has tricked you into believing that the parasites, yeah, exactly. The parasites have tricked you into thinking that you might want to end it. But that's not true. That's the parasites. They want you dead so that they can totally consume you then. Because if you die, then they can eat you up, and they'll find another host and they'll do the same thing to them. So you could argue that you have a bit of you can't let them win. You cannot let them win like that. Just first of all recognize it's not you that's thinking those thoughts. Absolutely not you, because they'll make you think it's you. They'll trick you. They'll make it sound personal. Oh, I'm depressed. I'm depressed. It's not I. They're taking your name and they're using it. I'm depressed. It's not you that's depressed. It's those parasites, and the only way they can feel better is by stealing your energy. It's not that hard to overcome it. It's not that hard. You just have to keep paying attention. It's not you. It's not you. You're fine. You're young. You're healthy. You're fine. You're trophy. You're fine. You've got a life. You're alive. You're fine. You've got a life. You're happy. I know you are. You know you are too. You know you are. It's somewhere deep down you know you're okay. Oh, that makes me feel better. Yeah, but it's not me making you feel better. It's just, you hopefully know this in yourself that, like, you deep down you're okay. We all have good and bad days. That's not the point. Like, those parasites are different. They're not about good and bad days. It's okay to have good and bad days, but, like, the parasites will make you think your life is a waste. That's a different thing altogether. That's a totally different parasite. That's like that's the devil himself, kind of. Not really, but just might as well be. So you don't have to listen to it. It's nonsense. Are you hearing the voice now, Trophy? The parasites now. Right now, no. Okay. Well, next time they come back, you just listen to them. Just don't fight them. They love that. They love when you react. Oh no, not again, not again. You're useless. You're nobody. You're depressed. I'm depressed. Oh, just watch. Just okay. Hang on. Just take a second when they come and you go, who's speaking that? You can do that. Like, if the voice comes and what does it say? What do the parasites tend to say? And how did they speak? Do they say I, or do they say you, or what kind of language do they use? Hard to describe. It is hard to describe. It is hard to describe. Very difficult, because they're like shadows. They're not, yeah, it's hard to describe. Even that is a telling sign. It's like, they don't have as much reality as you think they do. That's why you can overcome this very quickly if you just keep paying attention. you'll notice they don't really have that much reality at all. They only have the reality that you give them. The more you listen to them, the stronger they get, you know? And then it seems like they're real and they seem more real than you, to the point that you might even think about unaliving yourself. I mean, that just shows like what was just a parasite, had no life of its own, has become so powerful that it makes you think you want to unalive yourself. Why would you ever want to unalive yourself? There's no part of you in your body that wants to do that. I mean, just think about it right now, right? Hold your like nose as a small example. You just hold your nose and hold your mouth closed and try to suffocate yourself right now. Your body will rebel so bad, it'll just go, it won't allow you to do that. There's no part of your body that wants to die, no part of you. So the parasite has tricked you totally. But it can't. Mostly they say that if life is this short and full of misery, what's the point then? That's a thought. Yeah, that's what they say. Good. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Well observed. That's well observed. Because once you start to get to the core of what they're saying, you can go, well, is that true? They say that if life, yeah, so that's what they're saying. Wow. Isn't that amazing, the things they say? Like, isn't that amazing? See, like if you believe that, what you just said, or what they said to you, if you believe it, wow, I would want to unalive myself too. If I believed that, if that was true, if I believed it. Well, first of all, there's nothing true, but like if you believe it, it becomes true. So like if I believe that life is short and full of misery, what's the point? If I believe that, if I respect that voice, if I listen to that voice, if I look up to that voice, if I admire that voice, if I listen to it, if I trust it, whatever it is that leads me to believing it, because I have no reason to believe that. Obviously, for some reason, you trust that voice. For some reason, you have a relationship with it. You must think that it's valuable for some reason. You feel it's valuable, and then you believe it. And then once you believe it, of course, whoa, it's hell. You're in hell. Why do you believe it? There's no reason to believe it. It's just a thought. There's many, many thoughts. There's many different toxic boyfriend. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, sure. Well, then that's, the parasite has taken a physical form in your life. That's fine. But it's the same thing, yeah. And that's where it gets really complicated. When you have like relationships, romantic relationships, it gets really difficult, But don't worry about it. It doesn't matter who's saying it. It could be your boyfriend, a toxic boyfriend. It could be a partner. It could be a friend. It could be a parent. It could be a teacher. It could be me. It could be you. It doesn't matter who's saying it. Like, you have to question that. Like, why is it? Like, let me ask you right now, point blank, Trophy. Do you believe it's true right now in your sober moments? In like right now, you say you kind of are free from the thoughts for a second. Do you believe that's true? That life is short and full of misery, and that there's no point? Do you believe that? In your core, in the core of your being, do you believe that? I'm in the middle. Okay, good. Middle, yeah. Okay, so you're not sure. That's fine. That's good. I don't truly believe. Yeah, well, that's great. You're open. You're kind of in the middle. That's good. Stay there. That's a great place to be. Don't reject. Maybe it's true. Maybe life is miserable. It's okay. You just take a second and just, okay. It's a good place to be. So you're open to the idea that maybe it's the opposite is true. Maybe life is long and full of joy. Could be that too. I'm not sure. We're in the middle right now. On one hand, I'm healing, by the way. I even stopped taking sleeping pills. Very good. Good. Keep healing. Yeah, keep looking. This is how you heal. Don't worry about being better. It's not about being better. Don't evaluate yourself. By the way, I'm not saying, you're in a, yeah. It's not about being better. You're fine. You're not, there's nothing wrong with you anyway. That's the greatest thing, is that you're fine. It's just that you have a voice like we all do. I have a voice too. I'm not trying to put it all on you, because I know like you're doing great. Like we're not trying to pinpoint you here. It's like, it's true for me too. This voice comes into my head that makes me think that somehow my life isn't right, that I'm missing something. And it's very, very, very intense. We're all on the same journey. And I like the way you call it a parasite, because I feel like it is like a parasite. Imagine if it was a long life full of joy. Just imagine that for a second. Imagine if it turned out that it was actually a long life and it was full of joy. Just imagine for a second. Just give that an opportunity, because there's not many people that will tell you that. I don't think. I don't know. And I'm not saying I'm telling you that, because I don't know. I'm just saying you're more likely going to particularly with maybe the people that you're around at the moment, the toxic boyfriend and stuff, you're probably continually hearing the idea that it's short and full of misery. So, and that's fine. That's one theory. That's one thing. But then, like, what if it turns out that it's long and full of joy? What if it turns out that your particular life is going to be long and full of joy? Of course, it's a possibility. Yeah, it's a possibility. And you might find that there's a part of you that's struggling to my viewpoint changing right now. Yeah, good. And like this is going to be an ongoing process, because it is for me too. It's for all of us. It's not going to be like overnight you switch. You're going to have to keep checking. It's going to be like a daily thing. You're going to have to ask yourself, like, but I suppose, like, if there's some value in this exchange right now, it's like just that you acknowledge that there is a chance that it's actually the opposite is true, that life is long and full of meaning, that's possible too, that like it's not set in stone. Even just that is like such a great point. It's like, yeah, maybe it's going to be amazing. Maybe my life is just, and like, by the way, like for me as well, like oftentimes, there's a period in your life that's kind of difficult, but you grow out of it. So I don't know. So it's different possibilities. But we're all in this we're all in this process, in this healing process. And it's I remember as well, like people used to say to me, like, you can't be happy all the time, right? People would often say that to me, you can't be happy all the time. And I remember thinking, but like, I wouldn't necessarily say it, but I'd be like, but I would be thinking to myself about that. I'd be thinking, yeah, I can't be happy all the time. Okay, I can't be happy all the time. But then I was thinking back to that period in my life when I was miserable all the time. There was a period of my life where I was miserable all the time, basically. Maybe the odd moment here when I was eating something nice, or I was okay again for a moment here and there. But like pretty much miserable all the time. And then I would think back and I'd be like, well, if I could be miserable all the time, why can't I be joyful all the time? In theory, in possibility, if the body is capable of generating continual misery and pain and disappointment and frustration and then surely it's also capable of producing happiness and lightness and laughter and easiness and comfortability and pleasure and whatever. It's capable of feeling, joy and whimsy and those lighter feelings, not manic excitement necessarily, but just feeling good. And if it can do it misery all the time, maybe it can do that all the time as well. And people say, oh yeah, but you wouldn't want to be joyful all the time. You wouldn't appreciate it anymore. But I mean, trust me, there was no problem with the misery. You could be misery for 2 weeks in a row. You never felt that like, oh, I'm getting bored of this misery now. Like, no. It would get stronger every day almost, So like, there's no reason that it couldn't be true with joy too, that joy can just keep growing, keep building. It's like it's so weird. There's so many things that we haven't thought about, that people say, especially older people that we listen to and trust, that might say things to us, like parents especially as well, that might say things to us that we just believe and we don't question, I don't know. Joy and whimsy. That's a good word. Those are good words. Dinner's here. Okay. You know what? I think it is time for the end of the stream anyway, Trophy. I really enjoyed this conversation too. Enjoy your dinner, right? Enjoy your dinner. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy.
Yeah, I was just about to get food myself.
Yeah, I'm actually going to get food as well. I'm so hungry. Okay. So will we do next Sunday again, probably? Or something? We'll see. Yeah, Sean, sure, what about your thing? How did anyone respond to your thing on Discord?
No, nobody's interested. Not that surprising. There's not many people paying that much attention to it anyway.
No,
So,
there's
and not that many people like that sort of thing either. So.
Discord is dead, man. There's nothing happening in it. We'll try to get more people in, like, hopefully. It'll take time.
Yeah, we'll
It's just
see.
taking time. We'll get there.
Yeah, I might do a video of someone
Do.
else at some point.
I'd love you if you did a video. Yeah, it'd be really good.
You love me.
I love you. I love you.
You don't love me now.
What?
You will if I do a video.
Yeah.
You don't love me now,
Yeah,
but you
like
will if you do a video.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right, man. See you later. See you later,
brother.
Trophy.
See you, brother. See you, Trophy. Bye, guys.